Yana, this is case 526 on the calendar in the matter of Reynolds versus Sue Trujillo.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat.
Whose car was it that was damaged in the parking lot of the restaurant?
It was mine.
Your name is?
Hillary Sue.
What kind of car did you have, sir?
It is a Lexus SC400.
According to the complaint, because you have a counterclaim, you are in charge of the valet service at a restaurant called Buca de Beppo.
That's correct.
Where is that located?
Huntington Beach, California.
And you all went there for dinner?
Yes. Right.
And when you came out of the restaurant, you were advised that your car was in an accident or something happened to your car.
Yes.
So you went outside, and at some point you contacted Mr. Reynolds.
Yes.
At what time did you receive a call, Mr. Reynolds?
Approximately 11:30 p.m.
Where were you when you received the call?
At home.
Who did you receive the call from?
The restaurant called me, then the valet manager called me, and then Hillary Sue called me, and then Sophie Trujillo called me.
Why did you call him?
Well, what happened at first, when we first came out, we were never notified that the car had been damaged. So what we did is I went into Buca de Beppo's to ask what I could do, because they said they were not liable because they had a valet company that was responsible. So
That's what they said.
That's what they said.
Now, may I please see the damage to the car?
Sure. This is before the accident, this is after.
Now, Mr. Reynolds, you got out of bed, I assume, and went to the restaurant.
I was still up. I'm on call until the restaurant actually closes and the valet's clear.
How long did it take you to get there?
Less than 5 minutes.
Now, jumping to what your claim is, you claim that you were assaulted, your car was assaulted, your suit was assaulted by these people when you got there. So that's your claim. And the defendants say nothing could be farther from the truth. You were really the aggressor. You got there and you were in a foul mood. You wouldn't speak to them. When they tried to speak to you, you assaulted who?
Me.
And
then he grabbed Nico's neck.
So you have a counterclaim. And
Yes.
you have a claim for the damage done to your car.
Yes.
So you got there at approximately 11:35. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Reynolds?
Yes.
And first you spoke to the valet manager?
Yes.
I assume you asked him what happened.
That's correct.
And did the valet manager acknowledge to you that they had somehow damaged Mr. Tsu's car?
No, they did not.
Well, what did the valet manager tell you?
He said that the client had a claim that there was front bumper damage to their car, which they had no knowledge about. They pulled the car up right in front of the restaurant, and the customer said, "My bumper's been damaged."
How long have you been working for this company, sir?
20 years.
And in the 20 years that you've been working for the company, how many times have you responded to situations like this where the valet person says, "Oh, it's my fault. I damaged the car"? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You understand the question? Would you estimate that that happens 50% of the time?
No, less than that.
A lot less.
Very.
Because that's been my experience. That very rarely do the valet people say, "Oh, I acknowledge that I damaged the car. That's the way the car got here." So when you spoke to the valet manager and he said, "I didn't do this to the car," what did you do?
I took the report from Hillary. I took pictures of his vehicle. I exchanged information.
Tell me what information you exchanged.
My business card.
Can I see the business card?
This was given to Hillary. At that point, he said that. Sorry.
Okay. Did anyone ask you for your insurance?
It's commercial insurance? Yes, Sophie did.
And what did you tell her when she asked for your insurance?
I said, "We do not carry commercial insurance policies around with us. You need to call the insurance agent tomorrow, anytime between 9 to 5 p.m.
And what did she say to you after you said, "You have to call the office, here's my card"?
She became very agitated.
What did she say?
Well, she started threatening me, then hitting my car.
What did she say, is my question.
Well, "Give me your business card," was the first thing she said. And then I was on my way to take pictures of the exit ramp, and that's when she started striking my vehicle.
When you say you were on your way, what did you do? Did you get back into your car?
I was in my car.
What kind of car are you driving?
A Denali, a GMC Denali.
That's a large,
Yeah, large vehicle.
large vehicle. So you didn't get out of the car when you were talking to her. Did you get out of the car when you were talking to Mr. Tsu?
Yes. And then I got in my car to drive around the restaurant. When I was halfway around the restaurant, that's where Mrs. Trujillo stopped my car.
How did she stop your car?
By standing in front of it. And then I rolled down the window, and then she started asking, "What are we going to do about this?" And I said, "I already exchanged information with Mr. Tsu, and that I'm going to go take pictures of the exit ramp. I've already taken pictures of his car, and then we'll connect him to the insurance agent."
Then what happened?
Oh, she started yelling at me, wishing that I would die on the way home. And I said, "Is this conversation over? Because we're not talking anymore." And then she said, "Give me your business card." I gave it to her, and then she started hitting my car.
With what?
Her fists.
Go ahead.
Then I got out of my car, walked around the back, And then that's where the Trujillo and Husu, there were 6 of them, slammed against me, against my car, and assaulted me.
Mr. Tsu did that?
Mr. Sue.
What
Sophie,
did he do?
They're all pulling and shoving me.
What did Mr. Tsu do?
It was a mass of hands and people. It was dark, raining. It was just Sophie when I came around. When I got out of the vehicle, it was just Sophie. When I came around, her whole family and friends ran up and started hitting and kicking me.
And then what happened?
There was a bunch of yelling and shouting. The valets came up, helped me get the people off of me. The valet called the police, and the police came and separated us.
Can I see the police report, please?
There was no police report.
Why not?
Because I wanted to press charges for assault, and she wanted to press charges for assault. The police said, we'll both go to jail that night. And I said, oh, I don't need any record of this because for my job, they do background reports. And I said, I was just defending myself. And they said, well, you have to explain that to the judge.
So you chose not to prosecute, therefore there was no police report.
Exactly.
Did you go to an emergency room, sir?
No, I didn't need any.
So that you weren't injured as a result of any of this pushing and shoving?
Not me physically, no.
And the suit that you brought is to show me that your sleeve was pulled out of its socket?
Yeah, they pulled on my sleeve and they ripped my jacket pocket, which emptied all the contents of my jacket pocket onto the ground, which broke the digital recorder, which recorded the whole incident.
Does it work now?
Yes, it does.
I'd like to hear it.
I never knew at that point that he was recording me. I guess he was
What
recording
difference does it make, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You behaved badly.
I never touched him, never, but he pushed me away. That's when my son Nico came in and said, hey, do not touch my mom.
Oh, he put his hands on both of you.
On both of us. And I have pictures here to where he put his hands on my son's neck.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Valet manager Lonnie Reynolds claims Hillary Sue, Sophia Trujillo, and Nico Trujillo owe for an assault and for damage to his car. The defendants are countersuing for damage to Hillary's car. They also claim it was Lonnie who assaulted them.
Is there anything else on here, Mr. Reynolds?
It's just me talking to 911.
Okay. Could you turn this off, please? Okay. Now, Mr. Tsu, are you in any way related to Miss Trujillo?
No, I was working for her.
Now, at the time that this incident happened, you had already received Mr. Reynolds' card. Is that correct?
Yes.
So my question to you, Ms. Trujillo, is why did you get involved in this incident at all?
Your Honor, the reason why I went around was because I had went around because I knew that there had to be a place that they wrecked the car because they kept saying that they did not wreck it. So I did. I walked around the entire building of Buca de Beppo's and I found the location where they hit the dip and damaged the car. So when I came around, that's when he was getting ready to leave. My son called me and he's like, Mom, he's getting ready to leave. He's not going to stay here. And I said, he has to stay so he can talk to me.
No, he doesn't.
But
No,
I was
he
trying
doesn't.
to make sure that Hillary would get his car taken care of.
It has
Okay, then
nothing
that's
to
fine.
do with you. He had already gotten the business card. His car was damaged at the parking lot. Mr. Reynolds acknowledged that to the police.
No, but I'll...
Judd!
Okay.
I just heard what you said on the recording. You said his car was damaged by the valet in the parking lot. That's what you said to the police.
That's correct.
Right?
Yes.
Why didn't you acknowledge responsibility to Mr. Tsu? I mean, you know, they've already been eating and drinking for 3 hours. I don't know whether he was drinking. I'm not so sure about Miss Trujillo. I mean, I heard her foul mouth, and I heard her overreacting, and I heard your gait, which would have infuriated me were it my car, where you say, you modified your car.
Yes.
Which means we're not responsible if you modified your car. That's not what you told the police. You told the police the valet damaged the car, which means you damaged the car. Why didn't you just say that to Mr. Tsu?
I did say that to Mr. Sue, that we are not responsible for his car since he modified it, and he needs to speak to the insurance, and they will evaluate it.
But you are responsible.
Not for a modified vehicle.
Who says so?
Almost all insurance policies state when you modify your vehicle, unless you go back and say, we have altered our vehicle to this extent and we'd like additional coverage, they will only cover just a stock car.
Listen to me very carefully, sir. Then you have to teach your valets not to take possession of a modified vehicle. Because once you accept the responsibility of a car, you're responsible not to slam it into a pole or slam it anyplace else. And you didn't equivocate when you said to the police, our valets damaged the car. You didn't say, our valets damaged the car, but it was a modified vehicle, therefore we're not responsible. I didn't hear that. I heard what you said to the police, which was, I'm the good guy here. I don't know what happened. Here I am talking in a very quiet tone to people who are a little excited. I don't know why everybody's getting upset. I came here, my valets were responsible for the damage. We're going to take care of the damage. And she just assaulted my car and assaulted me. That's what you said, in effect. The truth of the matter is, Mr. Reynolds, you were passive-aggressive that evening. All you had to do was say, it's our responsibility, because once your valets take control of a car, they're responsible. And if they don't want to accept the responsibility of a modified car, and I don't know how it was modified, and I don't care, then they don't accept the responsibility. They say, you'll have to park that car yourself. I've been to Buca di Beppo, not in Huntington Beach, but I've been there. You can either valet park your car or you can park yourself, right?
That's correct.
So you say, we're not accepting responsibility for your car? Park yourself. You chose not to do that. You chose to accept the responsibility for his car, so you're responsible. Now, you behaved badly, Miss Trujillo, but I'm going to hear you.
I did, ma'am, and I apologize.
You behaved badly. Wasn't your business. You had the business card. There's no question in my mind that you hit his car.
Basically what I did when he was coming around, he was going to take off again, and I was close to his car by like the back wheel. So what I did is I hit the back window with my hand, and I did touch his vehicle. I did. And I apologize for behaving the way I did. Unfortunately, I kept asking him, me being a business owner.
What did you want him to do at midnight?
Professionally.
You're absolutely right. He should have done that.
And we would have never had that.
He didn't.
Right.
He didn't. But that doesn't allow you.
Does not allow my language. No, it does not. No. And I apologize.
I want you to tell me what happened when he got out of the car.
So what he did is when he got out of the car, he's like, step away from my vehicle, step away from my vehicle.
Did you?
Yes, I did. And then that's when he got his hands like this. I never touched him, never. My language may have been very bad, and I apologize again, but he pushed me away. And you can hear on the tape, that's when my son Nico came in and said, hey, do not touch my mom. And so Nico's separating me, and he's separating Lonnie.
So he put his hands on both of you?
On both of us. And I have pictures here to where he put his hands on my son's neck.
Can I see that, please?
And also the necklace that he broke off the night that it happened.
Tell me about when you put your hands on his neck, Mr.
It was in
Reynolds.
self-defense, pushing them away from me. If you listen to the tape, you can actually hear them kicking and hitting me if you listen closely.
If they were to hit and kick you, sir, you would have had injuries.
Not necessarily. I was standing between me and the car, pushing these massive people away.
Listen to me. You told me a moment ago that there was just pushing and shoving and no injuries. That's why you didn't go to the hospital. That's why you were injured. There was pushing and shoving. Now you're telling me that there was kicking.
Yes, I had a footprint on my pants.
I don't see any injuries. I see injuries to his neck.
I didn't have any physical injuries to myself.
How did the injuries to his neck happen?
Pushing him away from me and getting him off of me.
Now, when did he come over to you, sir? Before or after you put your hands on his mother?
Before. As I rounded the back of the vehicle is when they got me.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a minute, Mr. Reynolds. I don't believe that he came up to you until you just got out of your car and pushed his mother away. And I think that what happens is, if you put your hands on his mother, he reacts. Is that what happened?
Correct.
He shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have put your hands on his mother. Touching your car is no excuse for putting your hands on his mother. You didn't hurt her, but you put your hands on her first. How much is it going to cost to fix your car?
We have an estimate here from Lexus. It's $1,847.58.
And I have a counter estimate that shows it's a fraction of that to fix the same vehicle.
From Lexus?
Yes, from Lexus.
Oh, I'd like to see.
Yes. Here's the pictures of the car, and that's including the aftermarket parts and the stock parts.
I don't know what it means, aftermarket parts.
He modified his vehicle by putting a bumper that hangs real low up front for looks.
Did you do that?
No.
No. You want to know something? I drive a car that has a low bumper too. It happens not to be a Lexus. Do you know how many times the bumper gets pulled off and cut like this? Twice so far.
I have pictures showing how low his car is to the ground.
I don't care. It doesn't make any difference, sir. I just told you.
Okay.
I just told you. You're responsible. If you don't want to accept cars that are modified, he says he didn't do it. Maybe he bought it that way. Who knows? If you don't want to accept it, train your people not to accept the cars and tell them to park elsewhere. Once you accept a car, you accept it as it is. So, you can't double talk me, Mr. Reynolds. You are legally responsible, and they can take the car wherever they like to have it fixed. This is not an estimate that you just gave me. Lexus estimate is an estimate. And that's about, unfortunately, what it costs for a new bumper. I can tell you that because they tried to get that from me from my car until I explained to them that this was the 20th time that it had happened to a car that I knew about. And I said, if you have a design flaw in your car, that's your fault, not mine. Anyway, this is your fault, not his. And you have to take care of it. That's on your counterclaim.
Yes.
So you can sit down.
Okay, thank you.
Now, you were not injured, is that right?
No, ma'am, I was not.
You have a claim for what?
He was suing us, so I counterclaimed with him because he said that we damaged his pen, his jacket. There's an estimate here saying that he lost hours of revenue, gratuities, a day out of service, his
Just
car
a
was
second.
out.
Is that a claim that he
Like it?
filed? No. Take
No.
it. Go like this. Good. Perfect. Mr. Reynolds had a job, and his job was to calm the situation that day. I don't think that he did that. I think that he spoke in a monotone voice, which at some point can be very irritating. Mr. Reynolds should have done when he reported there that evening is say, I'm sorry, our valet lied to me, or at least said it to himself. Our valet lied to me. He did, in fact, damage your car. If you call the office tomorrow morning, we'll make arrangements to have it fixed. That's what you should have said. You chose not to say that. Ms. Trujillo was absolutely wrong in putting her hands on your car. Now, do you have photographs of your car to show any damage to your car as a result of her putting her hands on your car?
No, it's not my car. It's a company vehicle.
Very good. So that you're not suing for that.
Yes, I am. I had to pay for it.
Well, let me see pictures of the damage.
I do not have pictures.
You do not have pictures of the damage?
No.
You have pictures of this damage?
Yes.
Well, then you
Those
should have
are
taken
ours.
pictures. Shh. Should have taken pictures of that damage, Mr. Reynolds. You know the business. You've been in the business 20 years. So your claim for damage to the car is dismissed, as is your claim for assault, because the first person that put their hands on somebody was you when you put your hands on Ms. Trujillo, who acted badly, whose counterclaim I'm dismissing. But you were the one who put your hands on her first. Now, as far as his claim is concerned, I believe that he was protecting his mother because you put your hands on her. And you did, in fact, injure and scratch him. Would have been smart to sort of stay out of it. Your mother could have taken care of herself, you know, just using her words. But you're not allowed to put your hands on another human being. So, Mr. Tsu, you get for your car $1,847.58.
Yeah.
And you get nothing. And you get $250 for the scratches on your neck because he can't do that.
Okay.
And Mr. Reynolds, you just got a dressing down. That's all. Your case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You missed. Yeah, it's case number 585 on the.
Just take your hands out of your pockets. Stay right where you are. Thank you.
Yeah, it's case number 585 on the calendar in the matter of Hillesheim versus Thompson.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated, gentlemen. Have a seat, please.
Mr. Hillesheim, you own a restaurant?
I do, yep.
What kind of a restaurant is it?
It's a sandwich shop, Herbert and Gerbert's.
According to your complaint, Mr. Thompson came into your restaurant on a particular day. What day was it?
February 9th, about 1:50 in the morning.
And according to you, he came in intoxicated.
No, he was drunk.
That's what I said.
.256.
And he started a fight, and he went through your plate glass window. You want him to pay to repair the window.
Plus the neon sign was broke, too.
Mr. Thompson says in his counterclaim that one of your employees pushed him through the plate glass window, and he is counterclaiming for $5,000 for his medical bills and his pain and suffering. Right? That's your counterclaim.
Yeah, exactly.
How old are you, sir?
22 years old.
Where had you been drinking on the night of February 9th?
Well, I started at Scheid's bar, and I made it down to Brothers, and those are the only two bars.
What time had you started?
You know, I honestly couldn't even tell you.
Was it dark?
Yeah, it was dark out.
Who were you with?
I was with a whole bunch of people, a whole group. There was like probably 15 of us out that night or so.
Who went to the sandwich shop?
It was me, Jared, my other roommate, Nate.
How many of there were you?
There was like 5 of us in there.
How did you get there?
I just walked.
From where?
Brothers Bar.
And what did you go in there for?
I just wanted to get a sandwich.
When you got in there, what happened, Mr. Thompson?
Basically, I was...
Do you remember what happened?
Yeah, I do.
You weren't too drunk to remember?
No.
Were the police called that night?
Well, yeah.
Did they take a blood alcohol reading on you?
Yes, I did.
What was it?
It was .256, but I must say this was after my arm was cut and I'd lost probably over a pint of blood. I don't know if that's going to affect my blood alcohol content.
Nah, you got plenty of blood, sir. You got plenty of blood.
It was a .256, yeah.
So well over the legal limit.
Yeah.
But you remember everything that happened?
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
After I lost all that blood in my arm, I started getting kind of out there a little bit.
You'd been to the restaurant before?
Yeah.
Ever had any trouble there before?
No, never.
So tell me what happened when you walked in.
Basically...
No, not basically. Look at me and tell me what happened. You walk in with your 5 friends.
Yeah, me and my friends went in there to go get a sandwich, and Basically, the next thing you know, I get...
I don't want to hear basically. If you say you remember what happened, sir, I want to hear what happened. Don't look down. You want somebody else to tell me what happened?
No.
Yeah.
Shh. Quiet.
No.
I'll get to you.
Fair enough.
I went into the sandwich shop. I was assaulted by another man.
Nothing happened first. You didn't say anything to anybody.
No.
Okay, let's stop with you. Let's go. Were you there that night?
No, I wasn't there that night.
You were. Step up. Tell me your name.
Name's Brett.
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 Where are you?
Where am I?
Yeah, you're in a court. Do you have a last name?
Keys. I'm sorry.
What do you do in the sandwich shop?
I'm usually a delivery guy, but at that particular night, I was working behind the counter.
Do you remember Mr. Thompson and his group coming in?
I do.
You remember what happened?
I do.
You want to tell me what happened?
Well, I was working behind the counter at the time, and I heard an altercation begin, so I walked around the counter and began wiping off the tables so I could make sure nothing got out of control.
What did you hear?
Right away, all I heard was just Mr. Thompson talking about this girl going home with this black male, and I didn't think anything of it at the time, but then...
Do you remember what he said?
I don't remember. I could just hear him saying something.
Your Honor, I could clear this up real easily, too, if you'd like. Like, get it explained.
You weren't there.
I know I wasn't, but...
Then you can't explain.
I've got a guy here, though, that actually can.
Oh, you have another witness?
Yeah, see, I think he was...
Well, just a second. If you have another witness, I'll hear the other witness because this one is fuzzy.
Okay.
Where's the other witness?
Dante? Gonna bring Dante out.
Dante who? That's okay.
Sorry, dude. John Blanks.
Dante. Here's your right hand. You swear to tell the truth in these matters?
I do.
State your name for the record.
Dante Pettis.
Mr. Pettis, I assume you were in Mr. Hilsheim's restaurant.
Yes, ma'am.
On the evening of February 9th.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you eating there?
I wasn't actually eating there. Me, two female friends, and another male friend of mine, they were actually eating. We were waiting for a cab at the time of the altercation.
Can you tell me what happened, if you remember what happened with Mr.
I remember
Thompson?
very well. As we sat at one of the booths, he came up and was making comments towards, racially, saying, why are you going home with these guys or whatever? The only thing they're going to do is, sleep with you tonight and then never call you and things of that nature.
So he was addressing this group that you were with?
Yes.
Was he using any words that were negative?
It wasn't actually the words that was negative, it was just the demeanor of which he was using them.
How far was he standing from your table when he said that?
Oh, at that time he was maybe right at the end of the table.
So what happened next, Mr. Pettis?
I was a bouncer. I've been a bouncer in the city of Winona, so I know how to kind of diffuse the situation. So me and the two young ladies decided to go outside just to wait for the cab out there. And one of the young ladies walked back in, and I saw her say something. I don't know exactly what she said. I don't know who she was talking to or whatever. So I walked in following that. Next thing I heard was, oh, you think I'm racist? You think I'm racist? I'm the wrong MFer, to be called racist and this and that. Next thing...
Who was saying that?
He was. Then the next thing, he swung at me.
Swung at you?
Yes, he took two swings at me. I retaliated.
Take hands out of your pockets.
I actually retaliated. I hit him a couple times, and that's when Brent kind of came from behind the counter already or whatever. He tried to defuse the situation or whatever, and the young man over there was pretty drunk at the time, and he slipped through the window.
You don't remember any of that, Mr. Thompson?
Any of that just went on? I do remember some of that.
Well, how come you forgot all about that when you were telling me what happened? The next thing you knew, you said you got... When I asked you what happened, you said you walked in, and the next thing you knew, you got pushed through a plate glass window. You forgot all about this whole thing.
See, I didn't know. I thought I was coming here today to pretty much go to court over me getting thrown through the window. I didn't know any of this stuff was going to be part of it at all.
What do you mean you didn't know that was...
I didn't know. Pretty much what I thought it was like that. The only thing that I was pretty much going to come here to pretty much argue was just the fact that I was thrown through a window unreasonably.
Well, just a second. Mr. Thompson, there were events that led up to that. You didn't walk into a restaurant and order a tuna on whole wheat toast, and somebody said, I don't like people who order tunas on whole wheat toast. He'd go through a plate glass window. There was something that transpired, Mr. Thompson, that led up to an altercation.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Right here, you see Brett grab onto me, and I can just get tossed and watch. Not only does he do that, he keeps throwing me around. Watch him.
I don't see him throwing
I'm still getting thrown. That's me right there, getting thrown around by him still. Look at him.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Restaurant owner Nathan Hillesheim says a drunken customer, Carl Thompson, fell through a plate glass window in his store. Carl claims he was pushed through the window by one of Nathan's employees.
So when I ask you what happened...
You know, Your Honor, this is so ridiculous that I can't even believe this is... No, what's going on right now, Your Honor, is all these guys know each other. Like, everything that he said is flipping everything around. They're flipping it upon me. Like, I didn't say anything racist to him at all the whole time. There was nothing of the sort. I don't even know who was yelling out the door or whatever. And all of a sudden, the next thing you know, Your Honor, I'm sitting there, and he left to go outside, and he comes back in, and I get blindsided hit. That's what happened. That's how the fight started, and then I retaliated after that.
And when you retaliated, what happened?
Nothing. I just was defending myself on it. Like, he came and he blindsided, hit me in the face. I didn't even know what was going on, and like, I was just a scramble after that, pretty much.
I'd love to see the video, because I understand that there's a tape. But take your hand out of your pocket. Wouldn't have had any trouble, Mr. Thompson, if you weren't drunk. Listen to me, sir. We wouldn't be standing here today if a 22-year-old didn't drink to the extent that he got diarrhea of the mouth and said things that he shouldn't have. We wouldn't be here today. Whether they acted appropriately or not is another issue.
Your Honor,
I'm speaking. The problem emanated from the fact that you lost control of your ability for reasoned judgment by drinking too much. And if you didn't, you wouldn't have gone through a plate glass window, and you wouldn't have had any problem. The problem started with you. With you. Because there isn't a question in my mind, Mr. Thompson, that you made statements to this man and his 3 companions that if you had not had too much to drink, you wouldn't have said. Now, whether they overreacted is another issue.
Exactly.
The fault lies with you. So stop thinking of yourself as a victim. How long have you owned the sandwich shop?
5 years.
How many times has somebody gone through your window?
First one.
You think it's an accident that the first person that went through his window had a 2.56 blood alcohol reading? You think that that's an accident?
Your Honor, once again...
I'm asking you a question. You think that it's an accident that in 5 years, the only person that went through his window had a 2.56 blood alcohol reading?
Your Honor, everyone that goes in there at that time of the night, Herbert's and Gerbert's is located by all the bars.
Just a second. Is what you're going to tell me everyone who goes in there is drunk?
No, but what I'm saying is that...
Just a second.
They have fights, and there's always drunk people there, so...
I said to you, fine, very good. So what you're saying to me is that in 5 years of drunken people going into his bar at 1 o'clock in the morning, you're the first drunk that went through the plate glass window. And I'm saying to you, do you think that that's some sort of serendipity? Now I'll see the video. I've gotten it out of my system. Idiot.
If I could, Your Honor, it's a kind of choppy video. It's not very clear at all. Could I have Brett to actually explain what goes on the video?
You won't explain to me, sir, if I can't see it.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Mr. Pettis, can you tell me what's going on here, please?
May I approach the
Yes,
TV,
please.
Thank you. If you see, this is like the group of people. I'm actually standing over here, and he's right there. He just took a swing at me. The video's kind of chopped up. He took a swing at me. I retaliated, and that's how everything gets pushed over.
All right, so now everything is pushed over towards the window.
Yes.
Go ahead.
It was like when we were all over here, he was separating us, and at that point in time is when he slipped through the window. Brett actually...
Well, I don't see that point.
Yeah, Your Honor, this is not clearly showing it at all. I have a better video on this laptop over here where I can clearly go through it frame by frame, and I've got it. I can clearly show this a lot better, Your Honor. Yeah, there was absolutely no
Take your
swinging.
hands out of your pockets.
Excuse me. Okay. Let's see here. It goes frame by frame. Okay, you see absolutely everyone's just chilling. No one's really, I mean, he's just sitting there. There's some
But
people.
you get to the point where you're going through the window.
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting to it. It's frame by frame. You see Brett walk over, right there. Right here, you see Brett grab onto me and he grabs me and kind of does a throw through the window a little bit.
I don't see that at all.
There I am right there. I wasn't stumbling drunk, Your Honor, not one bit. And I could just get tossed and watch him fall me through there. Not only does he do that, he keeps throwing me around. Watch him.
I don't see him throwing
I'm still getting thrown out to me right there, getting thrown around by him still. Look at him.
Does it look to you, sir, as if you keep trying to move forward as he's trying to take you back?
That's after I'd already been through the window.
Just a
That's after I'd already been through the window, though. And he still kept on me.
Just a second.
Yeah.
So after you've been through the window, you're still off trying to get Dante? Is
No,
that what
not
happened?
at all.
Well,
No.
that's what looks as if
No,
it's
not
happening
one
here,
bit.
sir.
No, not one bit. That's not it at all.
Take it back.
Excuse me.
That is not one bit. He grabbed me and started dragging me.
After this altercation, after he went through the window and he was still trying to come at me, that's when Brett had him like trying to restrain him.
When he went through the window, was he outside or inside?
Well, he fell into the window. He was like, his lower half was still inside of the store, but the upper part of him was kind of outside the store.
Got it. So when he got up, because I saw him get up
he got pulled
inside
back
the
in.
store.
Yeah, he was coming after me again. My buddy that was still in there pushed me outside, grabbed me, made me go outside, and was like, just telling me to leave. That's when his other friend decided to come out, and I guess he had a few choice words for me, and he wanted the altercation to continue.
You were there?
Yes, ma'am.
Up. Now, Mr. Orr, how many people got into an altercation that night?
2.
How many people from your group?
1.
Who was that?
Carl.
Carl who?
Carl Thompson.
Now, do you think that that's just a coincidence that of the 5 people in your group, the only one that was drunk got into an altercation?
No, ma'am.
You think that that was because he was drunk?
Yes.
Did you hear him make any comments at all to Mr. Pettis and the group of people that he was sitting with?
No, I heard no comments made.
So you didn't hear Mr. Thompson say anything to them?
No, the only thing that I saw is when he came back into the restaurant, and then I saw a punch go right at Carl's face.
The police were called. Were you there?
Yes.
Who was taken into custody?
Nobody.
Nobody at all? Anybody arrested that night?
No.
How come?
Well, I wasn't there, so my brother went down and handled it that night.
Was there
so.
a police report?
Yes, there is.
I'd like to
I think
see
this
it.
details everything
I'd like
pretty
to
well.
see the police
If you got any
report,
questions
please.
throughout this, I'd
Could you just answer my
more
question?
than happy to answer them.
Somebody who wasn't there, you sure have a lot to say. Mr. Orr, you remember speaking to a police officer that night?
Yes.
You remember telling the police officer in response to his questions if they had been in a fight, that they both indicated that they had not been in a fight and you were with Mr. Thompson? Do you remember that?
No, I didn't say that.
Well, that's what the police officer says. Says that when the police arrived, they saw you and Mr. Thompson walking. He asked where you were coming from, and you indicated that you were coming from Scheide's bar, the opposite direction they had been walking, and well after bar closing time. So you lied to the police, according to the police. I exited my squad car and approached on foot. Again, I asked if they had been in a fight, and they both indicated that they had not been in a fight. I then observed a small drop of blood on the shirt of Orr. That would be you. Thompson was standing behind Orr and slightly offset. I then observed Thompson's left hand was all bloody and he was dripping blood, and then I requested rescue. That's what the police officer says. I'm just reading the police report.
Yeah, Jared was never actually in a fight at all. And like with me,
Listen to me, Mr. Thompson. If a police officer came up and I was all bloody, and I had been pushed through a plate glass window, and according to you, you had been blindsided by a punch to your face in the bar, and a police officer said, first, where are you coming from? I wouldn't have lied and say I was coming from a bar, because that was a lie. You would say I was coming from the sandwich shop. And then if I was asked by the police officer, was there a fight? I would have said, yeah, there was a fight. I got pushed through a plate glass window.
And I did. Your Honor, like I said, and it shows on the police report, I bled copious amounts of blood. I'd been punched.
Thompson, not from your brain.
But by after the point when I went through that window, and at that point, like, I got no recollections even of talking to that officer at that point.
You know why?
Because I'd lost so much blood.
No. Listen to me. If you lost that much blood, sir, so that you were delirious, you couldn't have been walking.
I lost a lot of blood, Your Honor.
Oh, God. You're standing here, aren't you? Orr stated that a group of black males attacked Thompson at the sandwich shop. And then Mr. Rohr, according to the police, at least said that Orr told me that one of the black males displayed a handgun in his waistband. I did not believe Orr about the handgun or the way Thompson had received the cut, because you told the police that he got the cut by being punched so many times. At CMH, I assume that's the hospital, I spoke with Thompson. He admitted that he had been kicked out of the bar earlier that night for fighting with some black guys.
That didn't even happen
Thompson
at all.
stated he was sitting in the sandwich shop eating when the black guys entered and began to racially harass him by calling him white boy and white. Oh.
Your Honor, at that point, that wasn't even right.
I know you were delirious from your loss of blood.
It wasn't even right of the police to try to get a statement at that point.
Just a second. Okay, what was the bill for the window?
The window to replace it was $344.96.
Cheap.
Neon sign was $90. Got receipts here if you'd like to take a look at them.
$434.96. Mr. Thompson, which is what?
$344.96.
What?
$344.96.
Plus the sign.
Plus the sign is $90.
No, I said $434.96.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No?
Yeah, you're right.
Let's do it
And
again.
I did graduate college, sorry.
No, no, no. I'm not good in math. I have one of these.
All right, see, you're cheating. You're cheating.
Right.
Mr. Thompson, you owe the plaintiff $434.96. Your counterclaim is dismissed. You brought the incident on yourself that evening. Next time, sir, don't drink. You can't handle it. Your counterclaim's dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
From now on, I'm going to go to the city council of Winona.
The guy was obviously...
Rise. Your Honor, this is case number 464 on the calendar in the matter of Strand versus Johnson.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Strand, is this your ex-wife?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And you have one child together.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your claim is that after you divorced, you were paying child support, not always consistently.
Yes.
And there came a time that your former wife remarried, and she approached you with the idea of asking you to relinquish your parental rights, allowing her husband to adopt your child, a girl, in exchange for forgiving the arrears that you owed her in child support.
Yes, Your Honor.
You thought about that and decided that that would be a good idea.
After a period of time, yes, Your Honor.
And did, in fact, go to court and relinquish your parental rights.
I didn't go to court. I just went to the lawyer and signed off on the papers.
When did you do that?
I believe it was approximately June of 2005.
So your parental rights were terminated.
Yes, after the adoption was finalized.
Your claim is the state is now coming against you for the $3,800 that you owed in back child support.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you say that they're doing that despite the fact that you had an agreement with Miss Johnson.
Yes.
So you want the $3,800 because lots of bad things have happened to you. Like what, sir?
I've lost my driver's license and my source of income. I'm unable to find work right now.
What kind of work did you do?
I'm a truck driver by trade.
Miss Johnson says you never had a contract with her.
Correct.
When was this arrearage accumulated?
It started occurring when we'd separated before the divorce, and it had gone on and off when I'd get laid off in the wintertime and was unable to make payments through my unemployment until I got back to work and started paying again.
How many children did you have?
I have one with him.
And how many others?
2 others.
How old are they?
They are now 22 and 20.
So this was the only minor child.
Correct.
And what kind of work were you doing when you separated?
I was working, I'm not certain, ma'am.
Were you ever receiving any sort of public assistance?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
When?
When we separated in 95.
And how long were you receiving welfare?
Till September of 96, I believe. I'm not certain.
Subsequent to 1996, and you say you're not certain, so it could have been longer.
Or shorter.
Or shorter. Subsequent to that, were you ever receiving any sort of public assistance again?
Yes.
When?
I don't recall the date, but I was receiving daycare assistance when I was working.
And how much child support were you paying, Mr. Strand, when you were paying it?
It started out at $200 a month, and through cost of living increases, it had gone up every 2 years. The last time that it got increased, it went up to $404 every month.
Now, were you aware of the fact that your wife at that time and your daughter were receiving welfare?
I was aware of the fact that they were getting daycare assistance, yes.
Well, at some point she was getting welfare, and at some point she was getting daycare assistance, which is also another form of public assistance. And was it at that time that you were paying $200 a month?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you always paying the $200 a month, or was that during the period of time when you were laid off seasonally?
I always paid it when I was working, and when I would get laid off or when I was in between jobs, I wasn't paying it. But when I did get back to work, I always made a point to either contact the county or my ex-wife or both right away to let them know where I was working so that it could continue to be collected.
You understand, Mr. Strand, that this is your problem. Even if I believe that you had an agreement with your former wife that she would forgive the arrearages, she can't bind the state with regard to the arrearages. And if this $3,800 bill accumulated at a time when your daughter was receiving any sort of assistance, whether it be daycare or regular public assistance, she can't forgive that money.
Your Honor, there was a separate amount that was owed to the state and an amount that was owed to my ex-wife as the custodial parent. The part that was owed to the state has already been taken care of a long time ago.
Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
When was that?
That was taken care of when I filed bankruptcy last October. It was a sum of $1,100, and I was able to put that onto my bankruptcy. So the $3,800...
So the state's never been paid?
No, the state was paid while I was paying child support. So much would go to my ex-wife, and so much would go towards what was owed to the state.
I thought you said that money was discharged in bankruptcy.
Not all of it, just what was owed at the time that I filed my bankruptcy. Yes.
So the state did not get their $1,100. You just tried to discharge in bankruptcy.
Yes.
Why didn't you add this money?
Because you're not allowed in the state of Minnesota to discharge
Child support.
until it gets turned over to your ex-wife or to collections as a debt owed.
Now, why, Ms. Johnson, do you think that your former husband agreed to terminate his parental rights?
Your Honor, I believe that he looked at her as a dollar sign, and he was never keeping employment nor paying his bills, and he just felt that this was an easy way to get out of his obligation.
Well, you asked him to do that.
I suggested it, yes.
No, you asked him to do that. You approached him. He wouldn't think about that. You approached him. And what did you say when you approached him?
I just said that you are not being a very good father. My husband is willing to adopt our daughter. If you sign over your rights, I will consider it.
Consider what?
That I could sign off if it was...
If it was what?
If I was able to.
If you were able to what?
Sign it off.
Sign what off?
The back child support.
Well, why can't you? If the state's been paid, you can sign off the back child support.
Because I don't choose to.
But you made an agreement to do that, madam.
No, I did not.
Oh, yes, you did. You did. Because I don't believe that under those circumstances he would have gone to your lawyer. By the way, who paid his lawyer?
I don't know, ma'am.
I didn't have a lawyer, Your Honor.
Whose lawyer did you go to?
Mine.
I went to her lawyer to sign.
Oh, so you went to her lawyer.
Yes.
Made an appointment for him to go to see your lawyer.
He made an appointment, yes.
Who you paid?
Yes.
Miss Johnson, I don't believe you. And I have to make a judgment. You want to try to convince me that you didn't make an agreement with him and not give me this answer I choose not to? Come on.
He was just not paying his child support, Your Honor.
So you said to him, I'll forgive your child support if you sign over your parental rights.
No, I did not. I said my husband has an interest in being my daughter's father, and if you would sign off, he says, could we then forgive that child support? And I said, we'll talk about it. But
no, I don't believe that. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today...
You want to know something? You're a scammer. I don't know how you got Social Security disability. At age 47, I know people who were 67 with asthma, they work. You must have had a really, really fine lawyer.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rick Strand claims ex-wife Marilyn Johnson owes for back child support that she agreed to forgive. Rick says the state is coming after him for the money.
So, the two of you signed an agreement when you came here. It was a binding arbitration. Is that correct?
Yes.
I will draft an order to the state. What state?
State of Minnesota.
That I have determined after a hearing that you agreed to vacate any child support arrears that were owing to you in exchange for his agreement to terminate his parental rights and allow your husband to adopt the child. That is my finding. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Sir, wait here. Sir.
He was just looking at our daughter as a dollar sign,
That upsets me greatly.
and he was trying to get out of his obligation of being a father.
I've always been a good father.
It's another one of his lies.
Well, I've already signed off on my parental rights,
Just leave us alone.
but I would hope that someday she'd want to talk to me and interact with me.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Alvarez versus Burgos. Step forward.
Store owner Daniel Alvarez is suing his customer, Carmen Burgos, for cashing a counterfeit check at his store. Carmen says she was the victim of an internet scam.
Mr. Alvarez, what kind of store do you have, sir?
I have a general store. We sell music, we cash checks, we sell satellite. It's a little bit of everything.
The defendant was a customer of yours?
A regular customer. She had been there at least 4 or 5 occasions cashing checks.
And you charge a fee for that?
Yes, we do.
According to your complaint, sir, she came in with a check, which you cashed for her.
Correct.
And it turned out to be a bad check.
Yes.
And your bank withdrew the money from your account. You want her to compensate you for the check.
That is correct.
Ms. Burgos says it was a bad check. She was conned with this check, and she's sorry that you're out the money, but it's not her fault. It's the fault of the people who scammed her. That's her defense. Is that correct,
Yes,
Ms.
Your
Burgos?
Honor. I shouldn't
So
be
I
held
want you to
liable
tell
for it.
What?
I shouldn't be held liable for it because I had
Ms.
the
Burgos.
evidence. Yes.
Let's start from the beginning. Where did you get this check from?
It was mailed to me.
From an employer?
No, I'm always on the computer and I'm always filling out sweepstakes and filling out numbers for lotto and that. So when I received the check...
So you received the check because you thought you won a prize?
Yes, correct.
All right,
But she didn't tell me that, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Don't interrupt her.
I'm sorry.
Your Honor, he wasn't there at the moment.
Listen to me.
Yes.
You got a check in the mail and you didn't know where it came from.
Correct. Yes, I thought
So
it was
you thought
a
maybe
sweepstake.
you won a prize that you had played around with on the computer?
Yes, correct.
You have a copy of the letter?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to take a look at it.
Well, I have a copy because I gave Mr. Alvarez the original and the envelope that it came in.
Just says, shh. Mr. Alvarez, I don't want you to interrupt her.
That's the original.
That is the original.
Cool.
And I also gave him the envelope it came in.
Now, this letter says that you won the North American Ballot Sweepstakes.
Correct.
And it tells you to call Debbie Baum in Canada.
Yes, Your Honor, and that's who I called.
Just for my own information, when you called her, what is it that you claim she said to you?
Well, I called her because at first I,
Joe, tell me, just answer my question.
I asked her about that I had received a check for a sweepstake for the sum of $2,900. And she told me yes, and I told her, well, it says here for processing. She goes, oh, no, that's no problem. You could go ahead and change. That's part of what you have won. There's 72 people that are in
I
with
read the
it
letter.
too.
There's 72 people that are going to share in $1.8 million.
Right, and that's just the beginning of it, so you could
Fine.
go ahead and cash it.
Cash
so
it.
that's right.
Fine.
I went to
you have
Mr.
a copy of the check?
Yes, I have
I'd
the
like
original.
to see it. Oh, you have the original?
Yes,
Love
the
to
bank
see it.
returned it to me.
Love to see it. Shh. So you took the check into him?
Yes, correct.
To cash?
Yes. Like I've taken other checks.
State Employees Credit Union of Maryland, Inc. Well, I have to tell you, this certainly looks like, to my untrained eye, an official kind of check.
Correct. That's why I went to him and I cashed it.
Miss Burgos, I got it. You thought you woke up and it was your lucky day?
Yes, correct.
Bird, take a look at this. An interesting looking check? Right?
Oh, it even says official check.
It even says
Correct.
official
That's
check.
why I never-
And, just a minute, and they don't even ask you to do anything, like
Correct.
send them
That's
back
why-
half in this letter.
That's why I was like...
Don't, I'm speaking. Don't bother me. They don't even ask you to send back half. You know, sometimes say, send us $500 as a processing fee, and they just say, here's your $2,900.
Does it in the back?
Yeah. She signed it, and it came back that it was suspected counterfeit. In any event, you gave her the money.
Yes, I did.
You have proof of that?
Just from the bank when they took the money out because...
I'd like to see it. Now, when you were notified by the bank,
Right.
yeah, they charged your account for $29.50.
Correct.
Okay. Now, when did you cash the check for her? On what date?
Around the 14th of November.
And the bank returned the check to you when?
They didn't return it until the 20th or 21st, but they notified me 2 days later.
So
they
on the
notified me.
16th.
Correct.
And when did you
I'm sorry, Your Honor,
notify?
it was after that.
Stop talking out. This is not a tea party. Now, when did you notify Miss Burgos?
That same day.
On the 16th, 2
exactly.
days later.
Exactly.
How did you notify her?
I called her son-in-law because I know her son-in-law very well, and I called him up and I asked him to bring her over.
And when did he bring her over?
That same day.
On the 16th?
Exactly.
Okay, now tell me on the 16th what you said to her and what she
I
said.
told her, Miss Burgos, this check has returned counterfeit from the bank.
And she said to you?
I didn't know. And she produced this letter.
Good.
Correct. I said I
Just-
didn't know.
So why didn't you return the money to him?
At the moment, I didn't have the money. I had paid some of debts that I had.
Just
So
a second. What difference does that make to him? Put your hand down. First of all, it's 2 days later.
It's not 2 days later, Your Honor. It was more than 2 days
How
later.
many days?
It was about 4 or 5 days later.
4 days later.
Correct.
Show me what debts you paid.
Well, I had some medical bills that I had to pay, so I went
Just a
ahead.
second. So you paid your medical
Sure.
bills.
I
Medical
was
bills.
like-
What else? What else
I
did you
paid
pay?
my electric bill, my phone bill, all my bills, and I
Now,
had
let me
a
ask you
few-
this question, Ms. Burgos. Before you came into this cash windfall, how did you pay your electric bill?
Well, I would pay it monthly.
From what?
From what I receive and also
What do you
my
mean from what you
children's-
receive? I don't understand that statement. Do you
Well,
work?
I get a Social Security check every month.
For what?
For disability.
What's the nature of your disability?
For asthma, arthritis.
You have asthma and arthritis and you can't work?
No.
I know a lot of people who have asthma and arthritis who can work just fine.
I was diagnosed with disability. So I...
Wait, just a second. When were you diagnosed with a disability from asthma and arthritis?
2 years ago.
Ms. Burgos, I'm believing less and less of what you tell me, madam, but I will tell you this. If you paid your bills which you are responsible for paying. Your medical bills, your electric bill, your phone bill, and I don't care what other kind of bills you paid, allegedly. And I know you're lying. Listen to me. And I know you're lying anyway.
No, I bought a few Christmas
Listen to me
presents,
very
yes.
carefully. And I know you're lying anyway. Then you have to pay him back the money.
Correct.
You paid your bills. You paid your bills. You're a scammer. Let me ask you this question. Who do you live with?
I live with my son and my daughter.
How old are they?
My daughter's 22 and my son is 19.
And what does your daughter do for a living?
She works. And my son
your
also.
son?
He works.
Works.
They're the ones that help me with all the bills.
Because you don't work?
Yes.
Because of your asthma?
Yes.
She didn't tell me that. That day when she came in, she told me that she had only spent about $500 to $700
No, I told you that's
of
what
the
I
money.
Miss Burgos,
Miss
Burgos.
I asked her specifically.
That's what I told him I had.
Did you give it to him?
No, because he told me.
Shh. So why did you spend that money instead of giving it back to him?
Well, I didn't have it on me at that time.
Why didn't you go home and get it?
The gentleman told me, Mr. Alvarez told me that he was going to send that letter, the letter from that they had
That is
received
not
to
true.
the bank. Yes, it is, Mr. Alvarez.
Just
that
a second.
he was going
So
to take
what?
that
If
letter
there's a
to
question,
the
listen
bank.
to me. If there's a question, why didn't you say, listen, if there's a question and if this check was bad, I don't want Mr. Alvarez to be out the rest of this money. I'm going to hold what I haven't spent and give it to him if he's out of pocket.
Well, I had held it. I had it.
So
and
why
when-
didn't you give it to him?
Because when I spoke to Mr. Alvarez on the phone, I told him I have the $500. He says, no, I want all the money. That's what he said.
That is
and I
true?
says, well, I don't have all the money at the moment, okay? I could give you at least $500 at a time. He said, no, I want all the money at the same
You want to
time.
know something? You're a scammer.
It was-
You've been scamming
no.
Social Security in all probability for the
No, I
last 2
haven't.
years.
I
I don't know
haven't.
how you got Social Security disability. How old are you?
I'm 47.
47. I know people who are 67 with asthma, they work.
Oh, I am disabled.
You must have had a
It was-
really, really fine lawyer. You owe him $2,950, Miss Burgos. You were a scammer, and you knew you did the wrong thing as soon as he told you that check came back.
Yes.
People very rarely get windfalls of money from the internet. Very rarely.
not a
Don't look like this to me.
I'm
I
not a
don't
scammer
know.
because
I don't know how I
that
got
letter
Social
had-
Security disability. I don't know where I got this check from. I don't know. Well, now you know that this man who was doing you a favor cashed your check and got penalized because of your stupidity. He got penalized. But you said, listen, I got the money. Let him go after the people.
I
Let him
told
go
him
after.
not to
I'm
spend the money.
speaking.
No, I didn't.
Let
tell
him go
I
after
didn't
the
think
people.
That way. I did not think that way.
Well, then you
did
should
not
have
think
returned
that
the
way.
money that you hadn't spent.
Okay, I did not. He didn't want the money that I had not spent.
So you spent
All
the
he
rest.
said-
Just a
no,
second. Hey,
I still
hey.
have the $500.
You're supposed to set an example, Miss Burgos, for your children. You're not supposed to be a scammer.
I'm not
And
a scammer.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And you believed in getting something for nothing.
No, I
and you
have
put
never
him in a
believed
very
that getting
precarious
nothing for
position.
nothing.
You've got a lot of nerve.
I've never.
You've got a
believed
lot
I
of
would
nerve.
get
Your children
something for nothing.
your children are not going to be proud of you after today. Judging for the plaintiff in the amount of $29.50. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused.
I don't think it was right because I am not.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
That's interesting. Mr. Herring, you and Mr. Chavez share a girlfriend. Not at the same time.
No.
She was your girlfriend, then she was Mr. Chavez's girlfriend, then briefly she was your girlfriend, now she's back with Mr. Chavez, and if my reading of these documents is correct, this would be the lovely Jennifer. And according to your complaint, despite the fact that you had not been together, according to you now, for a year and a half, you had some mail for her.
Yes, ma'am.
So you took it to her house.
Yes, Your Honor.
And when you got to her house, there was a confrontation with Mr. Chavez. And according to you, Mr. Chavez was arrested.
Yes, Your Honor.
You bailed him out of jail,
Yes, Your Honor.
even though he assaulted you,
Yes, Your Honor.
on his promise to pay you back the bail money, which he has not done.
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Chavez says you felt terribly guilty about what happened. You came, bailed him out of jail. There was never any promise to pay you back. All very peculiar. Mr. Herring, did you know Mr. Chavez before this incident?
I met him through Miss Jennifer Berger, but I have not known him prior to her relationship with him.
When did you and Miss Berger terminate your relationship?
January 2006, maybe somewhere in that area.
Is that right, Miss Berger?
No.
When was it?
It's over 2 years. I've been with Don for over 2 years. So.
No, don't look at him. Look at me.
I've been with Don for over 2 years, so it has to be.
Okay. You lived together?
Yes, we lived together at one time.
How long did you live together?
About 2.5 years.
What kind of work do you do, Mr. Herring?
I'm a stockbroker, venture capitalist.
What kind of work do you do, Mr. Chavez?
Hardwood floors.
What kind of work does the lovely Jennifer do?
She doesn't.
She doesn't do any kind of work.
Well, she doesn't have a job.
She's a full-time job.
Yes, very much so.
Now, you last lived together with Jennifer 2 years ago.
We still share a residence occasionally.
What does that mean, sir?
Basically, she still has a lot of her things at my house. However, she does see Mr. Chavez from time to time, and she goes over there and spends some time, and then for whatever reason, then she comes back and stays at my house. We've become very good, close friends, and so she always has a place to stay in the event that she needs a place.
But you said you didn't talk in 2 years. Stand up.
I didn't say that. I said we haven't been together for over 2 years.
No, you said you hadn't talked in 2 years.
I didn't say talked.
What?
I didn't say talked. Misunderstanding.
You said you haven't been together.
Right.
In 2 years.
But during the 2 years, I've been over the house. I'm mostly with John.
Mostly with your boyfriend. Now, you live together as a boyfriend and girlfriend?
It's been on and off-ish.
What is your legal residence?
With Jim.
Mr. Herring.
Yeah.
You are three of the weirdest people that I've come in contact with. It's very, very long time.
It gets weirder.
It's ridiculous.
The whole thing is ridiculous
Well,
unless there's
absolutely.
something that I'm not seeing here.
Absolutely ridiculous.
All right, miss, when did this incident happen? When you went over to take Jennifer, the lovely Jennifer, some mail, according to you, that had come to the house?
I don't know the exact date, Your Honor, but it was probably about the 7th or the 6th of March.
Of what year?
Of this year.
Go ahead.
And then I bailed him out on the 10th of March.
Well, what happened when you went over there?
Well, when I went over to give her her mail, I called her and let her know I was coming by. She had a driver's license, her registration to her car, etc. She'd been gone for about 4 or 5 days, so I went over and I knocked at his door, and she answered the door. She came out, and I gave her her mail. I said, I'm going to be leaving. I don't want any confrontations with Mr. Chavez.
Why should you have any confrontation with him?
Because I've had him in the past.
Go ahead.
And so I started to walk away, and she came out and talked with me for a minute, and then he came out and got right in my face and started to assault me. And at that time, I turned around and I told him that I was going to call the police. I went out to my car and I called 911. The police came. They talked to me for a few minutes. Then they went down and talked to Mr. Chavez. And apparently the conversation was that they could decipher who started the fight, so to speak. They didn't press any charges against him or me. However, he did have a warrant out for him, an outstanding traffic warrant for $25,000 warrant.
$25,000 warrant for not registering his car?
No,
Unlikely.
I don't know what it was, ma'am. I think it was a headlight or something, but it was a $25,000.
You must have really ticked off a judge, Mr. Chavez.
So they arrested him.
I'm speaking.
Yes, so they arrested.
I'm speaking.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chavez, you must have really ticked off a judge to put $25,000 bail on you for a broken headlight.
It was for no registration on the vehicle, driving without a driver's license in possession, and no proof of insurance.
And when did you receive this violation?
2004. But I was working for a guy that owned a car lot, and I was driving one of his vehicles back to the lot and got pulled over. And from the understanding that his dealer plates were not currently...
What do his dealer plates have to do with your not having a driver's license?
Well, I just didn't have it in my possession.
Mr. Chavez, I've been in the justice system. How old are you?
I'm 42.
Not quite as long as you've been on this earth. But a $25,000 bail on what amounts to nothing more than driving without registration for the car doesn't sound kosher to me, Mr. Chavez. Do you understand what I mean?
Oh, no, I understand what you're saying, but it was because it was the dealer plates that were on the vehicle, and the dealer plates were supposedly not up to current registration. So...
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This whole thing is very, very bizarre. And your visit to the jail is even more bizarre. And the fact that you fronted money for his bail is even more bizarre.
And later today...
How many children do you have?
3.
You're expecting another one?
Yes.
How old are you?
21.
You have enough children. Did anybody ever tell you that?
Everybody.
So add my voice to the rest of the pack.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. James Herring says his ex-girlfriend's boyfriend, John Chavez, owes for a loan to bail him out of jail. John says it's James's fault he was arrested in the first place.
Oh, so they took him into custody.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell me how it came about that you went and bailed him out, Mr. Herring.
I just, for whatever reason, decided to go down to the LA County Jail to talk to him. I wanted to find out why he had such animosity towards me.
You mean you wanted to find out that question? I can tell you the answer to that question in a second. The lovely Jennifer.
Yes, well, yes, ma'am. But I wanted to find out for myself why there was just such anger and so on and so forth, because I did not have any anger towards Mr. Chavez at all. If Jennifer wanted to see John or be with him, I had no problem with it.
You may not, but he does.
Yeah, apparently. So I went in there and I talked with him, and he...
You live in Los Angeles, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. It's all very strange here. Go ahead.
So I was visiting with him, and he'd been in for 2 or 3 days at that point in
2
time.
or 3 days on a traffic infraction.
He pleaded with me and begged with me. He even started to sob. He begged me to post bail for him because of his daughter. He also promised at that time that if I bailed him out, he would most definitely pay me back.
Go ahead, Mr. Chavez, let me hear.
That's all untrue, you know. I'm not scared of saying that I cry, but I'm not going to be crying to him. All right, that's first off. Second off,
But just tell me what happened.
when he came to visit me, he wanted to know why there was such animosity and what he could do to not have the animosity between us anymore. And I said, well, you don't want no animosity? Bail me out. He bailed me out, and that was it.
And when, for the first time, did he ask you for this money back?
Actually, he asked Jennifer to give me a letter, but she never gave it to me.
Why? Why didn't you give it?
I said I wouldn't. I didn't receive it from him.
Your Honor?
He asked me to give him some papers, but I didn't want to get involved. I said, this is between the two of you. You deal with it. I'm out of it. I wasn't going to serve. It was, I think, to serve him.
When was your next court date?
March 12th.
And what date did he bail you out? Do you recall? Do you recall, sir?
March 10th.
March 10th.
And you had already been there for 5 days.
Yes, ma'am.
Had you been in jail before, Mr. Chavez?
Yes, ma'am.
Same jail?
Yes, ma'am.
For how long?
30 days.
And did you do the 30 days?
Yes, ma'am.
So, doing 5 days must have been easy.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Herring?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't believe he promised to pay you back. I believe him. I believe him when he says that you said to him, what can I do to make this right? And he said to you, bail me out, and you did. Because I don't understand why, if the lovely Miss Jennifer had gotten her license and a registration for her car, you drive a car? Huh?
License is suspended.
For what reason?
For driving on a suspended license.
Your license is suspended for driving on a suspended license.
DUIs. And DUIs. Combination of the
Listen,
two.
you people are all too confusing and I'm much too old.
That's
Mr.
3
Herring,
DUIs and
Mr.
4.
Herring, you can't have it both ways, sir. If Jennifer is with Mr. Chavez, and she's clearly with Mr. Chavez, I suggest that you cut all ties with her. I don't know what Miss Jennifer is doing for you that allows you to believe that someone who is living with somebody yet has an avenue to come back to live with you, you know, as sort of a safe haven. You're a safe house. This whole thing is very, very bizarre. And your visit to the jail is even more bizarre. And the fact that you fronted money for his bail is even more bizarre. And I'm a very easygoing, you know, meat and potatoes Brooklyn girl. I don't get all this mishigas. Your case is dismissed, Mr. Herring. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I just feel it was unjustified.
I'm happy with the decision.
She kind of lives there, but she stays somewhere else from time to time.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
She's a free bird. She can do what she wishes.
I'll take it one step at a time.
I'm going to be on my own.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ross versus Ross, step forward.
Shauna Ross is suing her cousin, 21-year-old Pauline Ross, for the value of a state-issued check. Shauna claims Pauline kept money that was intended for her.
Miss Ross, the defendant is your cousin. According to what I read in your complaint, she had had some trouble with Child Protective Services. And there came a time that you agreed to watch her children in exchange for a state check for watching her children.
Yes.
You watched the children. She got the state checks, 2 of them, according to you.
Yes.
She cashed them both and did not give you any money. Ms. Ross says that you only watched the children a little bit. Her boyfriend watched them more than you did. So she kept the money, and she's got some countersuit about you calling Child Protective Services and making some false allegations about her after all this went down. What's your first name?
Pauline.
Pauline, how many children do you have?
3.
You're expecting another one?
Yes.
How old are you?
21.
You have enough children, Pauline.
Yes.
Did anybody ever tell you that?
Yes.
Who else told you that?
Everybody.
So add my voice to the rest of the pack. You have enough children, there are other things to do in your spare time. How old are your children?
They're 1.
You have to think about this?
No, 1, 2, and 3.
And who's the father of your 1-year-old?
Dion.
And who's the father of your 2-year-old?
I don't know.
And who's the father of your 3-year-old?
Dion.
And who's the father of this one that you're going to have now?
His name is Nick.
And how long have you been with Nick?
9 months.
Shh.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If you people don't think that I understand that this is just another scam on the state, you're wrong. I got it. You know what I'm doing with this case? I'm sending a tape of it to the state of Michigan so they can come after you and take the money out of your welfare money.
Closed captioning sponsored by...
Fasten your seatbelts. Monster Jam comes crashing into Halifax June 6th and 7th, and you can win the ultimate Monster Jam fan pack to share with 3 friends. Send your entry to win at globaltv.com for your chance to score big with Monster Jam. Brought to you by Global Maritimes and Live Nation.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Shauna Ross says her cousin, Pauline Ross, kept a state-issued check that was intended for her. Pauline is countersuing, claiming Shauna made false allegations to Child Protective Services.
Now, when your cousin was watching your children, who was your boyfriend then? Dion or Nick?
Nick.
When did your cousin watch your children?
She started April the 2nd when I started my job.
What kind of job did you have?
Waitressing.
Now, who filed the papers for your cousin to get this state check?
We both did.
And when you filed the papers, you said you were working, correct?
Right.
And you were receiving welfare.
Yes.
So they said, well, maybe they can cut some of this welfare money by giving you money to pay a babysitter to get you back in the job force, which will hopefully keep you out of the baby-producing business. How much did you receive in checks? Because the checks came to you, right?
Right.
How much was the first check?
The first one was $768.
And what did you do with that check?
I moved into my house.
So you used the money for yourself?
Right.
And how much was the second check?
$384.
And that was a babysitting check?
Yes, it was.
Well, Miss Ross, you don't get paid for babysitting for your own children.
No.
And Nick doesn't get paid for babysitting for your children because he hadn't filled out the papers.
Right.
So who do you think was entitled to that money?
Her, but not her, because she wasn't watching the kids like she was supposed to. And then April 12th, I got laid off. They cut my hours due to complications of my pregnancy.
Yeah. So
But
how
she was
many
still
hours
in-
did you in fact work?
20 hours per week.
How many
After the
weeks
12th.
did you work?
3 weeks.
3
No,
weeks?
3 weeks full time, and then they took me off.
So were you telling me, what state do you come from?
Michigan.
The state of Michigan gave you $1,152 for 3 weeks worth of babysitting?
No, no. You're
Well,
not
you got the
understanding.
2 checks just for babysitting.
Right, ma'am, she was calling in hours that she
Could
wasn't
I-
watching the kids.
Just a second. I understand that, but you have to sign off on it. Miss Ross, Pauline,
Yes.
you have to sign off on it. This is yet just another scam. If you don't think that I understand that this was just another scam, I
have
do.
the paper saying that I called and said my hours were reduced. It's right here. And from the caseworker.
Somebody had to sign off before you got the check, because the forms, she fills out the hours, but you have to sign off on it that she did in fact work those hours. Isn't that the way it works in Michigan?
Yes.
Of course. Works that way all over. Right? Otherwise, any babysitter could file and say, I worked 20 hours this week. unless the other person for whom she is allegedly working signs off on it. So if you people don't think that I understand that this is just another scam on the state, you're wrong. I got it. You worked 3 weeks and got checks for $1,152. You know what I'm doing with this case? I'm sending a tape of it to the state of Michigan so they can come after you and take the money out of your welfare money.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Are you the victim of a scam? Go to judgejudy.com or call 1-888-800-JUDY.
This was a good scam that the two of you cousins cooked up together.
No.
Because there is no way that I believe.
I didn't say I got paid for 3 weeks. I was working full time for 3 weeks. I called the caseworker. Here's the paper, the document showing when I called, to say that my hours were reduced to 20 hours per week. So therefore, she supposed to have cut down the maximum hours where she supposed to call in.
Miss Ross, you are not entitled to keep that check.
I know that.
Just a second. So why did you keep it?
Because she wasn't babysitting the whole time.
I don't get it. Why don't you just send the money back to them? You don't move into your apartment with it, madam. You don't take care of your expenses with it. That's not what the money is for. That's what welfare is for. That's what Dion is for.
Well, Dion don't help.
Well, that's your problem. That's not Michigan's problem. You can't keep this money. You get welfare. The fact that you don't like how much you get doesn't mean that you can scam the state out of another $1,100.
I didn't scam. I paid the person that was watching the kids.
Yeah, show me.
Me and Nicholas.
Show me. I want to see the person who was watching the kids.
Me and Nicholas spent the money together and I paid Lakeisha.
Listen to me. Lakeisha wasn't authorized by the state to watch your children.
She
Neither
wasn't.
was Nick. And you don't get paid for watching your own children. Madam, if you think that I'm going to give you $1,152, you are out of your mind. What the state should do is, and I'm going to send them a copy of the tape, is go against her welfare checks to redeem $1,152. And then let them decide where the $1,152 is going to go. That's what the state of Michigan ought to do. So they have to get the money back, and then they're going to give it to you. Thank you very much. That's all. Goodbye. Excuse me. Counterclaim.
As part of been sworn in, Judge, you may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
Mr. Fabella, is this your wife?
Yes, it is.
Sit down. Mr. Fabella, Miss Alvarez is your sister.
Yes.
And it is your claim that she should compensate you for false arrest, because she had you arrested for assaulting her, for your wife's medical bills, because your wife got very stressed as a result of this incident, and for all the legal fees that you had to pay as a result of this charge of assault.
That's correct.
Your sister says, and she's counterclaiming because she says that you did in fact assault her, and she is counterclaiming for the assault, for medical bills, pain and suffering, punitive damages. She says she came to your house to try to make peace with you because there's been some family difficulty, and you assaulted her. So, I'm going to hear from your sister first because she's the one who says she was assaulted. So, what were you and your brother fighting about, Miss Alvarez?
It was all about him stating that his wife was claiming that I stole $20 from her 7 years ago, and I had invited him over to a birthday party for my son.
Let's go slow. His wife said
that I had stole $20 from her purse.
7 years ago?
Correct.
And when did she tell that to her husband?
I don't know when she told him, but I didn't know anything about that till September 29th.
And what happened on September 29th? How long are you married, by the way?
10 years this June.
Okay, so what happened on September 29th?
On September 29th, I gave Gabriel a phone call to invite him to my son's 21st birthday party.
Had you been seeing your brother up
I
until
was in his
September?
house in the month of August for dinner when my brother from Reading came down. They invited us over and we were there.
Okay, so you were at your
Correct.
brother's as early as August of 2002, and then September 29th you called and invited him to your house for your son's 21st birthday.
Right.
Mr. Fabella, did your sister call you and invite you to a birthday party at her house?
Yes, she did.
And had she been to your house the month before?
Yes, she was.
For dinner?
She was over to accompany my cousin who was visiting me.
Fine, but she was there on a social visit.
Not a social visit.
She wasn't invited.
My cousin.
I didn't ask you anything. That's why I told you to sit down. She was there and she spent time in your home, sir. She wasn't there on business. Or was she there on business?
She was not on business.
She can either be at your house two different ways, business or social.
It would have to be social.
Right. You called on September 29th to invite him to the birthday party, and what happened?
When I called him, he told me that he would be calling me back because he needs to talk to his wife. And when he called me back, he said that he would not be coming to the party due to his wife claiming that I had stolen some money from her purse, and that I would have to apologize to her in order for them to attend.
Okay. Is this the first time you had heard about this
Correct.
theft?
Yes.
Mr. Fabella, did you say anything to your sister in that conversation about your wife claiming that she stole some money from her?
In that phone call conversation, no, I did not.
Well, tell me about the conversation where you alleged this theft.
I would say approximately around mid-September, she called me at work. She wanted to, I don't know, provoke me to be angry at my wife for who knows what reason, and she's trying to find reasons. And I told her that she needed to stay away from us.
Why would she want to provoke an incident with you and your wife in September, sir? You and your wife have been married for 10 years. Let's get to the bottom of it. I don't have all day.
She's made a habit of this with all my brothers and myself, and I wasn't going to stand for it, and I told her she just needed to stay away from us.
Something doesn't sound right, Mr. Fabella. Something sounds very peculiar to me. What did your wife tell you about your sister stealing money from her?
She told me about an incident at my house in which $20 was missing from her purse. She had just gone to the ATM, and they had arrived at my house, and my wife excused herself to the restroom, and she was doing her hair, and when she came out of the bathroom, she had a sense that she needed to look in her purse, and she looked in her purse, and she was missing $20, and my sister
When
was
did
nervous.
your wife tell you this had happened?
This happened maybe 3 years prior.
Years before she told you?
Yes.
Years before she told you?
It was years.
So when she called you on the 29th to invite you to the birthday party, you had already had the discussion with her about your wife's recent claim of theft years before. Is that right?
I told him the day that it happened.
I'm not asking you anything.
No, that's what happened.
Do you understand what I just said to you?
That claim was not recent. That was just one example. I was giving my sister what she was demanding from me, that why does Patty hate me so much? You know, what did I ever do to her? And she was looking for reasons, so I gave her a reason, and that was one reason I gave her.
So, called back and said, we're not coming to the 21st birthday party. What did you do, Miss Alvarez?
When I got off the phone, I told my children what he had said on the phone, and my kids said there is no way.
Don't tell me what your kids said. You
I
went
was
over
just-
to his house. When did you go over to his house?
On Monday, September 30th.
And who did you go with?
My father.
Is this your father?
Yes.
Step up here, sir. What is your last name?
Mr. Fabella.
Mr. Fabella. You went over with your daughter to your son's house. Why?
To see what the problem was.
To make peace?
Pardon?
To make peace?
Yeah.
Do you have a good relationship with your son?
Oh, yes, I love it.
Have a seat, Mr. Fabella. Thank you. So, what happened when you got over there?
Well, when I got there, my dad went up to the door, and my dad knocked on the door, and he rang the doorbell, in fact, and Gabriel answered the door. And when Gabriel saw that my father was at the door and me behind him, he went into a rage and just went straight at me and just got me and shoved me. He threw me against the stucco of his wall. I fell, and
that was the assault?
Yeah.
Mr. Fabella?
Yes.
You just heard your daughter tell me what happened on that day?
That's right.
Is that what happened?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to call your father a liar? Look at me. You want to call your father a liar?
I'm not going to call my father a liar. That's not what I'm here for.
Good. I would suggest that's a very good idea. Father says he loves you. You have any reason to doubt that?
Those were the intentions my sister made him think that they were going over for. My sister went over to start a fight with my wife and me.
Sir, all I asked was, your father came over and rang the bell.
He did not ring the bell.
Knocked at the door.
He did not knock at the door.
What did he do?
He entered my house. I didn't know he entered my house. I turned around, he was there. I have a chihuahua, she would have went nuts. She didn't make a sound.
Fine. He entered your house and? Go ahead. Tell me your version of what happened.
I was at the counter reading my mail with my wife while she was making dinner. And we heard something and we turned around and my dad was inside my house.
Where inside the house? Look at me.
We have a bistro table by the front door.
So right near the front door?
Near the front door.
Fine. You saw your father standing at the front door.
And my sister.
And your sister. And what did you do?
I told her to get the hell out of my house. I knew what she was there for.
Shh. You told her to get the hell out of your house, and what did you do?
I yelled at her to get out of my house.
And?
Again and again.
And then what did you do?
What did I do? I told her to get out of my house, and she continued to argue, and she refused, and she just stood there, and she was going to start a fight with my wife, and she's calling her names, saying she's going to kick her ass.
I want to tell you
let's
something.
go right
I
now.
want to tell you
I'm
something.
ready to go.
I don't believe you.
You don't believe me?
No, you're a liar.
No.
That's not what happened.
No.
That's not what happened.
That is
She did
not what
not.
happened.
She did not scream and yell when she came in the house with your father.
I was screaming and yelling at her to get
That's
out of
right.
my house.
You
She
were
was screaming and yelling.
You're a troublemaker.
No, I'm not.
You're a troublemaker.
Yes, she
Oh, shh, quiet. Your wife's a troublemaker, sir.
No.
My
You wanna
wife
know
is
why
not a
your
troublemaker.
Yes, your wife's a troublemaker.
You were
oh,
not there.
Yeah.
You did not hear
Listen to
her
me.
what she said
Listen
when
to
she
me.
came into my house. You
Listen
were
to
not
me.
there. You did not call my wife a
did not-
troublemaker. She is not the troublemaker.
She did not go over to your
And
house,
I'm doing
sir.
exactly what I did that day, defending my wife. She had no right to come into my house and start a fight. I took her out. I pushed her outside. And that's all I did.
right. You pushed her.
I did.
Good. You, Mr. Fabella, you
I was
left
removing
that
a
out.
threat to my wife.
Pay
She was
careful
trying to slap
attention
my
to
wife
me,
and
sir.
hit her.
Pay careful attention to me. I am not interested in your macho. You left out when you were telling me what happened, sir, that you pushed her out of your house. You said you yelled at her, but you left out the fact that you put your hands on her and pushed her out of your house. So your lawsuit, sir, is dismissed for false arrest. You assaulted her. Now I'm going to approach her counterclaim.
I have a police report and a tape recording.
Listen,
She's coaching my dad outside my garage door, and it's full on audio tape. She's saying, this is exactly what I was telling you about. Patty's a troublemaker. I want you to come over here and tell you what kind of stuff she's saying about me. She's saying, you know, I slapped, you know, this is the reason Edmund beat my other wife, his wife, and this is why my other brother hit his wife. She came over here trying to provoke me to hit my wife.
Listen to me, sir. You don't have...
I have the...
I'm speaking. I'm speaking. You may push her around. I guarantee you, Mr. Fabella, you don't push me around.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Forget him.
I haven't contacted them, and I don't even know what they're trying to put a restraining order.
As a slide of mud. Doesn't get it. Never will.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Gabriel Fabella says his sister, Herlinda Alvarez, owes for a false arrest. Herlinda claims he put his hands on her.
It may be that the defendant came to your house. Maybe that she came to the house to cause trouble. That is a possibility. She didn't get that far.
She was in my house.
She was.
Did you hear?
Was right in front of my face.
She was in my house. We have a recording.
Did you
She's
just?
lying to my dad, saying, "Don't say that. Don't you dare go against me and take your Gabriel and put him first."
Did you just hear what I said to you?
I heard what you said.
Good. You had no right to put your hands on your sister.
She walked into my house, and I have a police report from the police. And first she's saying she got through the door, then she's correcting herself after the police go back out and tell her what we were saying inside the house.
I have zero sympathy for you, sir. Only a little sympathy. Not with regard to this case, but I have a little sympathy for you. How were you injured?
Okay, I have
just let me
photos here.
see your injuries, that's all.
Okay.
Okay, so you were black and blue, is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
I'd like to see those.
Absolutely.
I also have the police report, Your Honor, here stating the whole situation, what happened.
Not interested. I just heard the whole situation about what happened. I heard it from your father.
I have a police report that says all she had was a scratch.
That's enough. That's enough.
From the stucco wall.
That's enough. That's not, I mean, what is she looking for here? $5,000 in your dreams. You understand what I'm saying to you? In your dreams.
I can explain to you why I want the $5,000 that I want to sue him for.
Sure, tell me.
What happened
Tell me,
is that
but I want to tell you something.
Okay.
I think he's got a problem.
Yes, he does.
I think he has a problem. I don't know. Well, I'm beginning to feel more sorry for you, sir.
No. I currently have a temporary restraining order
Would
on
you do
her.
me a favor? Would you get her out of here? Sure. Go.
Let's wait now.
Go ahead. Now you can tell me why you think that...
Your Honor, what happened is that during the situation when this was happening, I was on disability due to some female problems, and I had to have surgery. And the day that I went over to his house, I had just got out of the emergency, you know, and my dad was with me. And my husband, Michael, said, you need to get on the plane and get over here to Hawaii to get away from all this so that I wouldn't stress out. So I went to Hawaii, and during Christmas time, after speaking to all my family, they told me to drop the charges on my brother, which I did. I wrote him a Christmas card, told him to let things be bygones because he's my brother, and I don't want to do this to him. I know that this is all because of his wife, because my brothers happen to be married to women that are like that. My family does not function in that way. And I thought he was going to let it go. Then all of a sudden in January, my husband gets they knock on his door, and they tell him that they're there to serve me. And I'm like, serve me for what? And what it was papers that he was trying to serve me for a restraining order. I'm in Hawaii. I'm living in Hawaii, and he's trying to get me restrained when I'm in Hawaii?
Can I see the application for the restraining order? Do you have it?
You
have your application for the
Yes, I do,
restraining order?
and
I'd like to see it, please.
And we went to court on that, and the judge in Fresno denied it.
So is that the reason that you're asking for $5,000?
No, because I had to go over there and buy tickets for my husband and I to fly home.
Okay, I got it. How come your wife said to the police, sir, this whole story, portraying her in a very bad light, but never said that you actually pushed her out the door and off your property? How come? You know what your wife told the police? My husband escorted her outside. That's what it said.
I did.
Oh, God, you stupid. And you also say, I escorted Erlinda out of the front door. How did you do that, sir?
By the shoulder. I led her by the shoulder,
Oh,
and
you
then
led
when
her
she
by
got
the
to the
shoulder. How
threshold,
come?
I pushed her out.
Got to remember what you say, Mr. Fabella.
I know what I'm saying. I pushed her out. I was trying to get her out of my house.
Pushed her? Well, there's a difference between pushing her out of your house, sir, and you said to me before, she just got a scratch from the stucco. Isn't that what you said?
I pushed. She was standing on the threshold,
you just told
and
me
she fell
just
back
got
and scratched her arm against the stucco wall.
True.
My front door is right next to the wall.
I never even entered his house, Your Honor. I never stepped into his home.
I don't find, Miss Alvarez, that you were seriously injured as a result of this incident. It was a very unfortunate incident. Should never have happened.
She should never come to my house.
Forget him.
I know. I have.
Forget him.
I haven't contacted them, and I don't even know what they're trying to put a restraining order.
A slide of mud. Thick as a slide of mud. Doesn't get it. Never will. I'm not saying you did everything right, but if your sister comes to your house with your father, a person who you know loves you and cares about you,
I have other restraining orders that have been granted against my sister for the same kind of behavior.
Why don't you listen to what I'm saying, sir? Why don't you listen? If your father comes to your house with your sister and you love your father, you do not do anything in front of your father to aggravate him. How old is your father?
74.
75.
Has he been a good father to you? Has he been a good father to you?
Yes.
Then you do nothing to aggravate him. You don't push your sister out in the stucco, and you say to your wife, listen, when my father leaves and my sister leaves, we don't have to have anything more to do with her. I'm not going to aggravate my father over this. That's what you do. That's what you do. Because you can have a lot of wives, sir. You can only have one father. Do I make myself clear? Your case is dismissed. You get $500 on your counterclaim. Goodbye.
Parties is Jazar. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Ms. Parker, you purchased a washer and dryer and a refrigerator from the defendant's store.
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint. All three of those items didn't work properly.
Correct.
You returned the washer and dryer, and after getting the runaround from Mr. Jazar, you went to the store and you claim he assaulted you there.
Correct.
You want to be compensated for the washer dryer, which you still don't have, the refrigerator, which doesn't work, and the assault.
Correct.
Mr. Jazar says you can have another washer and dryer, and he didn't assault you, you assaulted him. Right?
I don't think so.
Did you listen to what I said?
Yes.
What did I say that was wrong?
Right.
Ah, I see this is going to be an interesting case. Mr. Jazar, what's the name of your store?
Dallas Appliances.
When did Miss Parker purchase the washer and dryer?
I don't remember.
When did you purchase the washer and dryer?
I originally purchased it, it was in March, the 21st when I went in.
Of what year?
Of 04.
When was it delivered?
April the 16th.
What took so long?
Because originally I had went into a shop on the 21st of March to purchase the refrigerator. I paid him for the refrigerator, and I picked out a washer and dryer set that I liked. The one that I picked out was sold, and he told me that he would order me one, and it would take about a week to get in. My witness went out and picked the refrigerator up that same day.
Did he give you what you considered a better deal because it was a floor model?
No.
Why not?
Well, this is a used or refurbished shop.
What kind of warranty comes with?
It was a 60-day warranty.
Okay.
When they came out to pick it up, he explained to them not to plug it in 30 minutes after they got it to my house. And also, when they plug it in, to plug it straight in, not to wiggle it.
Why was that, sir?
Because if the freon shaking, they will mess up the engine on it. So it have to be 2-3 hours minimum to plug it in.
Is that what he told you, sir?
He told me a time. I wasn't really sure how much time he said, but he said, like, don't plug it in for this amount of time, and then...
Stand up. Stand up. Your name?
Darian King.
Mr. King, so he told you how much time, but you don't remember how much time he told you?
It was between 30 minutes and an hour that he said.
So did you listen to him?
Yes, I did.
When did you start to have trouble with it?
3 weeks later.
Within the warranty period?
Correct. It started making a loud noise. And so at that point, I still hadn't received my washer or dryer.
Had you called about the washer or dryer?
I called several times. I was getting them running around.
What's the matter with the washer and dryer?
She make a payment to the washer and dryer. She didn't pay me full price to the washer and dryer.
Why should you pay her before she has it?
When she pay me full, I give her the washer or dryer, and she called complain. I sent my technician to her house in my expense.
When did you get the washer?
It was
and dryer?
about 3 weeks later.
How much did he charge you for the washer and dryer?
I paid $433, and I paid $378.87 for the refrigerator.
Was this a new washer and dryer that she was getting, or used?
No, used.
Where were you getting it from?
I'll buy them from dealers like a Sears or some other dealers. I fix them and I resell them.
Well, where did you buy this one from that she had picked out?
I have no clue.
What do you mean you have no clue? Who is supposed to know if you have no clue?
I buy it from some guy, his name is David. He's a big wholesaler, so I don't know where I get it from.
When he delivered the washer and dryer to you about 3 weeks later, what was the problem with it?
Well, he never delivered it. I had to go in and pick it up.
Okay.
And at that time, it was a different set than what I originally pointed out. It was an older model, and then it was a different color than I originally asked for. And so I told him I didn't want that. That's not what I ordered. I told him that I just wanted my money back. He told me it was against the policy, and I showed him this is what I ordered. I showed him a set that he had there. And he told me, no, Sandra, this is more expensive. And so I was like, well, he was like, I'll make a deal with you. You give me $150 more, and I'll upgrade it for you. So at that time, I was like, fine. I had a small baby, and I needed a washer and dryer. So I gave him $150 more to upgrade it.
Okay.
Okay, he upgraded it. I took that washer and dryer, the one that I picked out at that time. As soon as I got it home, I would start washing clothes, and I noticed on the spin cycle it was like real loud. And I told him, I was like, Omar, it's too loud. And he agreed with me. He said it was loud and that it just had a new belt on it, and to give it a week and it should work better. And the dryer wasn't heating up like it was supposed to either. I waited a week. It still worked the same. I called him, left a message. He didn't return my call. I waited another week. At that time, my refrigerator was making loud noise. He was like, well, I'm going to send my technician, Willie, to come out and look at it for you. He said it would be a $50 trip fee.
So we're still within the warranty on both of these items.
Correct. And I have the receipt for the...
Can I see it, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, for the warranty, she have to bring it to me, to my shop to fix it. The technician has
What, are you crazy? Are you crazy, sir?
No, she knows. I told her
Quiet.
that.
So far, I want you to consider yourself in trouble.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I think this is good advertisement.
You think it's a good advertisement? I want
Yeah.
to tell you something. If you think that this is a good advertisement, I have a good psychiatrist that I'd like to introduce you to.
And later today,
He's out in Kansas. You're in jail.
Yes, ma'am.
He wants to go home. Doesn't want to click his heels together and say, take me back to Kansas. He wants to click his heels and say, take me back to Texas.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sandre Parker says appliance store owner Omar Jazar sold her 3 defective appliances. Sandre claims when she tried to get a refund, Omar assaulted her.
Keep going. You're within the 60-day warranty period.
Right. So he sent Willie out the following day. Willie looked at the refrigerator, told me the motor was going out. So I was like, fine. He took a couple of parts off the refrigerator and told me he would be back later that day. He was going into the shop to get the parts, and he would be out to repair it. He never came back that day.
What? Just a second. What's the name of your store again?
Dallas Appliances.
You still in business?
No.
Now, what happened when you went into the store to confront the defendant?
Me and myself and my witness and another gentleman went to his shop. They pulled around the back because they were going to load up the washer and dryer, and I went in through the front. I went over to him and I was like, Omar, is the part for my refrigerator in? And how about my washer and dryer? He told me, no, the part wasn't in.
Why wasn't the part in?
That's not the truth. She never bring the fridge to me.
She doesn't have to bring it to you.
We have no problem with the fridge. She never mentioned the fridge for me. We don't have no problem with the fridge. The problem is with the washer and the dryer. That's it.
Listen to me, sir.
She never complained to me about the fridge. She just complained about it.
I have a receipt here from your technician who went out there and charged her $50.
And that's it. It was fixed.
Would you just tell me what happened? So you...
Okay, I had went into a shop on the 21st. I had told him that I was just upset. I told him I wanted my money back. I had my receipts. I would just take him to court. He got upset. He told me he didn't want to deal with me anymore. He started trying to explain to Darian that he had a dryer up front and he had a washer in the back that I could take home.
All right, he's a hustler.
Right.
You should have contacted the Attorney General.
I did.
Oh, you did? Good. Maybe they put him out of business. Maybe they put him out of business. But if I were a member of the public, I wouldn't buy a thing from him.
Right.
Nothing. He took advantage of you.
Right.
He doesn't have to say a thing. The few things that he say to me make it crystal clear to me that he took advantage of you. And that's how he does business. But you're a grown-up girl.
Right.
You should know better.
Right.
Spend a little more money and buy something from people who are reputable, who have reputations, who stand behind their product.
Right.
Not charlatans like this man.
I think this is good advertisement.
You think it's a good advertisement? I want to tell you something. If you think that this is a good advertisement, I have a good psychiatrist that I'd like to introduce you to. You took advantage of this lady.
No, how come you said I took advantage? I don't take advantage of her.
How old are you, sir?
34.
I'm a lot older than you are. I don't look a lot older than you do, but I am a lot older than you are. And I have bought many an appliance that came with guarantees. Listen to me very carefully and stop shaking your head. Try to put on your listening ears, Mr. Jazar.
I'm listening.
I have never come across a store owner who told me to bring back the refrigerator. Never. They've said to me, bring back the laptop computer, bring back the camera, but I have never. And believe me, sir, I have bought more appliances than you have years. Ever heard the stupidity that you're suggesting to me is true, that if you have a problem with a refrigerator, you're supposed to bring it back to your store so that you can fix it?
She like it. She can buy it. If she don't want to buy it this way, she cannot buy it.
That's what she wanted. She wanted her money back. That's what you should have done.
No.
That's what you should have done, because the thing broke within the 60-day warranty period, and your mechanic that you sent out there was not able to fix it. And you tried to pawn off a washer and dryer that she had not ordered. And when you already had her money and she said, this is not what I ordered, you said, hustle, hustle. If you give me another $150, I'll give you a better one that's out front. Well, you already had her money.
That's
so
not
I'm
true.
speaking.
That's not even exist.
I am speaking. Hey!
I'm listening.
You are a hustler.
No, I'm not a hustler.
You are a hustler, sir.
No,
and you hustled this lady out of her property. Now, did he hurt you when he ripped the receipt out of your hand?
Yes, we were
back.
back.
Wait just a second. Now, I want you to be very careful. Don't start shaking now, because so far you've been telling me the truth.
Okay, when we were back in the back, he was showing the washer and dryer. He was making out a new receipt. When I asked him to plug it up, because it looked like it was being worked on, he told me he couldn't. I asked him why. He told me because the repairman wasn't there to plug it up. I'm like, okay, well, just make me out a receipt, and on the receipt you need to state if I have any problems with it, you'll send him out there to fix it at no charge to me. And I have the old receipts, I'll just write void on them. He was like, no, you just give me the receipts. And I told him I wasn't going to give it to him. At that point, he got real mad. He stood up, he lunged at me, he grabbed one of my arm, and he snatched the receipts. When he snatched the receipt out of my hand, that's when he scratched my hand. And at that point, I was in shock. I was just standing there, and Darian, he intervened between us.
Did you have any medical treatment?
No.
That's right.
And so Darian intervened in between us, told him not to put his hands back on me, and told me to go call 911. So at
You don't call 911. I call 911. I have the police report here.
I have the police report and I have the
Why you don't go
audio.
to the hospital? Why you don't go to the hospital?
Because you scratched me and hurt, grabbed my wrist.
Sir. 2, quiet. Good. The total amount of money that you gave him for the washer, dryer, refrigerator, plus the $150 for the upgrade comes to $961. As far as I'm concerned, you had at least a couple $100 worth of aggravation. And I think that he has to compensate you for the aggravation. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,200. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The police took both sides and told me to leave.
There is no assault, was there?
Well, I kind of used a little profanity to try to maybe scare tactic or something, you know.
There's no was hustling, nothing.
Don't mess with shysters like him.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Riley versus Kent. Step forward.
25-year-old restaurant manager Cody Riley is suing his former roommate, 20-year-old barista Zachary Kent, for selling his property while he was in jail. Zachary says he used the money to move back home.
Mr. Riley, I have some preliminary questions for you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
Are you a college graduate?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you graduate from school?
Ashworth College in Atlanta, Georgia.
And were you working at the time?
At the time I got my degree, yes, ma'am.
What were you doing?
I was a restaurant manager for Jack in the Box restaurant in Texas.
When was the last time you worked full-time, sir?
I'm currently working now.
When did you start this current job?
A week and a half ago.
Prior to that, where did you work?
Prior to that, I was incarcerated.
For how long?
19 months.
So the last real job that you had was in 2001, working for Jack in the Box?
There was another one I had. I did my own web hosting and internet design.
When was the last time you filed federal tax returns?
In 2003.
And what amount did you claim that you earned in 2002?
A couple of thousand.
2002, did you file tax returns for 2001?
Yes, ma'am.
From working in Jack in the Box?
Yes, ma'am.
How much did you earn there?
19 and change.
19,000?
19,000, yes, ma'am.
These are just preliminary questions to what your case is about. You were incarcerated, according to what I read in your complaint and in the defendant's answer, for creating bad checks.
Yes, ma'am.
Not writing bad checks, but creating the checks
yes, ma'am.
On your computer.
Yes, ma'am.
And your complaint is that you and Mr. Kent had been good friends. You decided to move from Texas to Kansas City. And you did move there. You were older by 4 or 5 years. Is that right?
Yes.
Speak.
Yes, Your Honor.
Shortly after you arrived in Kansas City, you were arrested for these bad checks and incarcerated. The whole process probably took a couple of years. Shortly after you were arrested and incarcerated, Mr. Kent sold all of your property.
Yes, ma'am.
And with the money, moved himself back to Texas. You don't deny that you did that. Could you answer me? This is a television program.
No, ma'am.
It's not a silent movie. Right?
Yes.
All right, good. Now, why did you sell all of his property?
He paid for my way up there. I felt that he had to pay for my way back.
He's out in Kansas. You're in jail.
Yes, ma'am.
He wants to go home. He doesn't want to click his heels together and say, take me back to Kansas. He wants to click his heels and say, take me back to Texas. How'd you expect him to get there?
I had told him recently, whenever I spoke with him, that had he asked or something like that, I would have done something. But taking all of my belongings that cost far more than a trip back to Texas, and
What belongings did he take, Mr.
I have a list of all of the belongings that I had in my apartment, including a television, stereo, furniture, dishes, clothing, 2 pet dogs.
Let's see. A Mitsubishi television set that you paid how much for?
$2,099.
Where'd you get the money from?
I had my web hosting company, so I had money from that, and my mother also helped to pay for it.
You see the beginning questions that I'm asking you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Now you're getting red. Now you're getting flushed. I want to tell you something that is apparent to me. We just went through the last 4 years of your life. The last 4 years of your life suggests to me that you had no discretionary income. So I want to know where you got the money for thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff, sir. Is it possible that some of this stuff was purchased with the proceeds from your forged checks?
Yes, some of it probably was.
You're coming into this court and saying, well, I wrote a whole lot of bad checks that I paid for, a lot of extras for in my life. He had no right to sell it, and I want you to give me that money back.
Your Honor, some of it was obtained through legal means as far as my jobs over the course of several years. Some of it was obtained via credit and with the help of the family. I've got receipts for those showing that they were credit and cash purchases.
I don't care whether they were credit or cash purchases, sir. You were forging checks and cashing them.
And I also paid restitution on all of that.
How much did you pay?
$3,000.
This is $10,000 worth of merchandise, sir. How do you expect a court to differentiate between what you got through legitimate means and what you got through your forged checks?
Some of the money I had probably came from the checks, but some of it came from the web hosting company as well. Some of it came from family.
And I'm saying to you, you expect a court to spend 1 second of time, Mr. Riley, in trying to decipher what property you purchased through the sweat of your own brow, through legitimate means, and what property you purchased by using forged checks?
No.
And you expect me to spend a moment of my time?
No, Your Honor, the police...
Good! Because I'm not. Thank you very much. Your case is dismissed.
Four on the calendar in the matter of Brown versus Harrington. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Ms. Brown, Mr. Harrington and you had a relationship for quite some time. According to your complaint, you lived together. And while you were living together, you made him a loan in the amount of $6,000. In addition, there was, according to you, a violent episode in the home that you shared together where he assaulted you both physically and sexually, and he was arrested.
Yep.
Mr. Harrington said that the $6,000 was not a loan, but that you had lived with him for a period of time, never paid any expenses when you lived there, and this really was repayment for living expenses. And in addition, he says that while he was in jail for that 1 day, and you were only there 1 day, sir?
Just for the night. Release me in the morning.
In jail for 1 day. He says that the charges that you filed against him were false, and he wants money for emotional distress. How long did you two live together?
A little bit over 2 years.
From when to when?
March until...
March of what year?
2002, until the beginning of May of this year.
And did you live in his home?
Yes.
Did you pay expenses in the house?
Yes, I did.
What kind of expenses did you pay?
At first, he had a loan out for the garage, so I took over the loan for the garage while he paid for the house payment and the other bills, and I took care of the food. I'd buy all the groceries.
Now tell me about this $6,000.
Well, he had one of the other loans that he had out was for $6,000, and he was paying $100 a month on that loan. And I told him, I says, if you look at this, only half of it goes to the loan, the other half goes to the interest. I says, what we can do is borrow some money out of my savings account, get rid of this so we don't have to pay that interest anymore. In exchange, we just put that $100 back into my savings account instead. And
Where did you get $6,000 from?
Oh, my dad had died, and I had gotten some inheritance money.
Okay. So what did he say?
He thought that was a good idea. That way we would be saving money.
Did you use a joint account?
Yeah, both of our checks started going into the same checking account.
All right, so let's hear about this $6,000. She says you didn't give her back the $6,000.
Okay, this lady here met her at a bar, and
Listen to me.
Met her at the bar.
Listen to me. I'm not interested in when you met her. I'm not interested when you started to date her. I'm not interested in anything but the $6,000. You want to talk about your relationship, you go to a psychiatrist. This is about $6,000.
Your Honor.
When?
Can I say something?
Who are you?
I'm his daughter.
Oh, he's a grown man.
Okay.
You take medication?
No.
Is there any reason why you
No.
can't tell me this story?
He's nervous.
I haven't done anything yet.
I met.
Well, Your Honor.
Shh. Don't speak. Mr. Harrington, I'm not interested in the beginning of your relationship. I'm interested in the $6,000 that she says you owe her. Could you get to it?
The $6,000 was from when she moved in, and she agreed to pay the partial house payment with the utilities, and she said that she couldn't afford it, so she said she'd pay the loan off with her dad's inheritance that she received from him. That was no loan. I've got 9 months of bank statements here that she never put nothing in it.
She never put anything in your joint account.
It was no joint account, and she moved in. It wasn't a joint account until November 9th, 2002.
Okay.
I have proof right here.
After November of 2002, did she start to put money in your joint account?
Yes.
How much?
I guess it was $742 or something every 2 weeks.
And you used that money for expenses?
Yes,
the answer is yes. You used it for expenses. Your expenses, her expenses.
Yes.
You lived together. This was a family, the
Right.
two of you. Now, what was the $6,000 debt that you had? What was it for? Was it from credit cards? Was it from a car? Was it from a loan that you
I
took out?
suppose it was odds and ends for, I've got horses, it might have been $1,000 for them, no, it's just the $6,000 wasn't applied to one
thing.
Right.
All right, so this was clearly your $6,000 loan that she paid off with her $6,000, right?
You're correct.
Okay. Now, when you separated in May, according to you, there was an incident at the house.
Yes.
You want to tell me what happened? Because that goes to Mr. Harrington's counterclaim.
Yeah. Well, in the middle of the night, I woke up with him putting handcuffs on me over the top of me, and I went to pull away from him, and I seen a gun sitting there on the nightstand, so I just stopped fighting, just like that. I was scared to death.
You understand that the jurisdiction of this court is $5,000. You
Right.
understand that. So the money that you say was a loan, the $6,000, far exceeds the jurisdiction of the court. So I find that the $6,000 initially that Mr. Harrington had spent was money that he had spent on himself, his horses, odds and ends, etc. They were not debts of a joint couple who were living together. So I'm entering a judgment in your favor in the amount of $5,000. Now I'm going to get, sir, to your counterclaim. I've read the police report. The police report, I don't know whether your daughter has read. Have you?
No, I haven't.
All right. The police report contains your fully Mirandized statement about what transpired the evening that Ms. Brown has described to me, and I haven't asked her to go into detail. It's really not necessary. And there is no question in my mind, sir, that based upon your confession to the police, Ms. Brown had sexual relations with you because she felt intimidated. Now, you may have thought that that was a way to spice up your sex life, sir, but clearly she did not. You acknowledged you used handcuffs. You acknowledged you took a gun out and placed it on the night table. You acknowledged all of that, and you seem to think that that was okay. Now, I don't know why the district attorney chose not to pursue this matter. I haven't a clue. They found the handcuffs where she said that they were in your home. You acknowledged that you took them out without her consent. You did say that when she told you to take them off, you took them off. But that doesn't say that she wasn't, in fact, intimidated and frightened by your actions, because according to you and according to her, you had never done that before. I would be frightened, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you?
No comment.
You wouldn't be frightened if a man that you lived with for the first time took out handcuffs while you were half asleep, put handcuffs on you, proceeded to have sex with you, and you turned over to the night table and there was a gun there? That wouldn't frighten you?
I have no comment.
You have no comment. Good, then say nothing. In any event, your counterclaim, sir, is dismissed, because the crux of your counterclaim is that you suffered emotional distress from being in jail for that one night. If it were up to me, you would have been jailed for a lot longer than one night. Your counterclaim is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
You better watch yourself.
Not very smart.
Women What can I say? They have you arrested, clean your house out, and still want more.
I knew my side of the story was true and it would come out this way, so I'm very glad it's over and done with.
It just says,
It's a
love
card.
Wanda.
From one with handcuffs
love.
on it.
The message behind that was meaning that we were joined together.
Hey, this is just one of
This
them,
is
but I got
not-
one every year.
Nothing to do with sex or nothing. It meant that I was committed and we were together.
What they did that night is not something that is rare.
He even asked me about it when I gave it to him, and I straightened him out right away that it just meant that we were committed to each other.
For her to sit there and say that they've never done it before is
We've
is
had
a
them out.
crock-
We've played around with them before.
Oh, I'm glad it's over with.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Craddock versus Rodriguez. Step forward.
Small business owner Joanne Craddock is suing her sister, cocktail waitress Deborah Rodriguez, and her husband Gilbert for their share of a Disneyland vacation. The couple says Joanne gave them the money because they couldn't afford to go on the trip.
Miss Craddock.
Yes.
Mrs. Rodriguez is your sister, and I assume this is her husband. Is that right?
Correct.
According to your complaint, your sister owes you for the expenses for a trip that the two families took to Disney.
Yes.
Your sister says that there was never an agreement to pay you back the money that she did in fact use. She had some financial problems. You insisted that she accompany the family to Disney, told you would take care of things, and that this whole thing stems from an unfortunate incident surrounding your father's death. When was the trip to Disney?
November of 2003.
And was it an overnight trip or a day trip?
We were there for a week. Debbie and Gilbert took our van, and we took our other van and drove down, and we stayed at a timeshare for a week.
So far, is that true, that you took their car?
Yes.
And the trip had been planned for both families?
Yes.
So why did it become necessary for you to take money from your sister?
On November 9th, I got in a car accident where it was a 3-car accident. One car hit my car right on the driver's side door. Was taken by ambulance to the hospital. Had to be out of work. The car had over $5,000 worth of damage. So I had to call my sister and tell her that I wasn't going to have the money to go. She really wanted us to go on this trip.
Is that what, did she call you?
At all.
Okay. Tell me what she said when she called you and told you she needed your car.
We had offered her our van, and they would just put the gas in it, and we would take our other van, and the timeshare was already paid for. We each had our own timeshare.
Had you paid for it already?
Yes.
How much was that?
$220, I believe. We paid for that almost a year before we went, so that was all
So
paid
the
for.
room was paid for?
Yes.
So what was the conversation about money that you had with your sister?
They told us that they were low on money, they didn't have any more money, and we said that we would put things on our charge for you, but don't let me have to take you to Judge Judy. Honest to God. And here we are.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Things went very badly. She was behaving badly. She was making everybody very uncomfortable, and I had to kick her out of the house.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Joanne Craddock says her sister and brother-in-law owe for a trip to Disneyland. Deborah and Gilbert Rodriguez claim the money was a gift until a family argument changed everything.
So she started to put monies on the credit card for your family.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you think that she wasn't expecting to be repaid when you could afford to repay her?
I couldn't afford to repay her, and she knew that.
I said, what makes you think, considering you are not families who have lots of spare cash, car hit you, I assume that you're suing the driver of that car?
Yes.
So eventually, are you going to either settle that lawsuit or come into some money? Why would you think that your sister, who doesn't have a lot of money, would not expect to be repaid?
Because I called her before we took the trip, after my car accident. I'm a cocktail waitress. I live on my tips.
Yes.
I knew I would not have enough money to do this trip.
And she said to you, what?
She said, I want you to go on this trip, and I'll help you out.
So my question to you is, I'm going to come back to my question. She helped you out. She gave you a car to go down in. Why would you think that you should not send your sister $50 a month and say, listen, thanks for helping me out, my family, we all had a great time on the trip, and if it wasn't for you, we really couldn't have gone. I'm going to send you $50 a month till it's paid off.
It was never alone, and the only time it became an issue, she filed for this suit the day after my father died. And the reason she did that was because she was making everybody very uncomfortable. She hadn't spoken to my father in 15 years. She wouldn't have been at my father's house if it hadn't been for me. I pushed for that because I thought it was only fair. that she see her father before he died. And things went very badly. She was behaving badly, and I had to kick her out of the house. My aunts came from Rochester, New York, an 8-hour trip. She wasn't allowing them to spend any time with their brother. The situation became out of hand, and I had to throw her out of the house. That is when she said, "You're going to make my life miserable, I'll make your life miserable for the rest of your life." And the next day, my father died on the 11th. On the 12th, she filed this suit. It had never been an issue until that day.
Everything she just said was a complete lie.
Was there an incident that happened prior to your father's
My
death?
father's wife did not want me around for 15 years. I only live a quarter of a mile from my father. Okay, so it was my father that died also. Except my sister and I are adopted, and we have never gotten along. Okay, we were trying once again to have a family. My sister did work very hard so that I could see my father, and I did spend 36 hours up with him because I had not seen him in 15 years, other than twice in the mall. And it wasn't my doing, it was his wife's doing, you know. She's his wife.
Whatever.
So, yeah. So everybody was in the kitchen. I was staying with my father, not doing anything. And my sister said, "We need to talk." And I, you know, "Can we do this later? You know, he's got hours here." And I wanted to be with him as much as I could. And all of a sudden she's telling me how she's going to call the police. And I never went to my father's wake or his burial because she told me I'm the one that was making everybody uncomfortable.
All right, well,
away.
that's unfortunate.
But now that my father's dead, he was the pole for us to get together or do anything. And you know, probably after today, I'll never see my sister because we aren't close.
Well, that's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. It's very unfortunate.
That's unfortunate. But that's not the issue. The issue is there an expectation, an understanding that that money is going to be repaid at a time when you get back to work and your financial situation is improved? I have to determine whether that was your understanding with her.
Okay, can I say something, Your Honor?
You can say something quickly.
There was no understanding on that matter. Would it have been nice to have paid that? Yeah, I think basically, but after this was filed, this frivolous lawsuit, no, I think we don't owe that. We never agreed to that.
Well, let me ask you, if it was nice before, would
have been nice
for you to pay them back, right?
Perhaps.
Mr. Rodriguez, you know, life is about being a moral person.
I agree, Your Honor.
You're mouthing the words. You're mouthing the words, but you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you're a moral person, and if you are unemployed, and you have 2 children, are these your 2 children?
No, but I would consider my 2 children.
He's their stepfather.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do. Have one
Where are
child.
they?
Texas.
How old?
He's 22.
When was the last time you saw him? Almost not an
about 2
answer.
years.
2 years ago?
About 2 years ago.
I mean, don't you wake up some mornings and say, "Oh, I have a child that I haven't seen in 2 years"?
Yeah, I do.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Rodriguez, listen to me very carefully, sir. Sometimes you're better off not speaking. Do you understand?
True.
Especially when it's not your family.
I understand, Your Honor.
Good.
But it just boils my blood that she's going to stand here and just makes silly accusations.
Mr. Rodriguez, she's not making any silly accusations.
I think so.
She's saying that her sister and her husband, 2 able-bodied people, had to borrow money from her. To stop shaking it. Had to borrow money. You don't use the word borrow. Had to take money from her in order to go on a vacation that had been planned for a year because you, sir, didn't have a job.
Right.
And as far as I'm concerned, you can always get a job. It's not necessarily the job that you like. When I used to sit in the family court, you know what I would do? On my way into work, I would pass all the places where there were signs that said help wanted. Car washes, grocery stores, fast food restaurants, and I would have a list of those places and their addresses. And whenever a father came to court and said, "I don't have a job, I can't pay child support," I would say, "I have a list here for you." Because when you make a family, you have to work. You don't rely on somebody else to take care of your business. That's why you're supposed to sometimes, Mr. Rodriguez, keep your mouth shut. Got it? Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $380. That's all.
Parties are excused. Case number 269 on calendar in the matter of Feinstein versus Fairley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat.
Mr. Feinstein, it is your complaint that you were assaulted and your car vandalized while you were at the defendant's bar.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the defendant, although I don't think you were there, is that
No.
right?
I wasn't there.
She says through her employees, I'm sure she has witnesses here, are going to tell me that you were very drunk.
Yes, ma'am.
And, well, I gather you acknowledge that you were very drunk, and any injuries that you sustained were sustained as a result of you flailing around and hurting yourself, and they don't know anything that happened to your car. So, what's the name of your bar, pub?
Scotland Yard Pub.
Which of your employees was there that evening?
Justin and Eric.
All right, stand up, please. And you don't know anything about this of your own personal knowledge?
No, I wasn't there.
You can have a seat. Justin?
Yes.
And Eric?
That's correct.
What is your given first name?
Lucky.
That's what your parents named you?
Yes, ma'am.
Interesting. Are you an only child?
No, there's 3 other siblings.
Are you the first, second, third, or the fourth?
I'm the 4th.
You're the last one.
Lucky to be here.
Got it. Okay. When did this incident happen at the pub?
The 22nd of what?
First, we got to get the date. Questions get harder, Lucky.
7/22, I believe it was.
Had you been to this pub before?
Only a couple times before this.
Immediately prior to the 22nd of July, when had you been to the pub?
Maybe a week before that.
So sometime the 15th, 16th.
Yeah.
Prior to that, when had you been to the club?
Maybe a month previous to that one.
Never had any trouble there?
Never, no.
You have a drinking problem?
No, not necessarily. Yeah, I like to drink, but I don't consider myself having a problem with it, no.
Well, according to you, Lucky, on the 22nd of July of 2005, you were drunk.
Yes, ma'am.
If I had to place a wager, I would say you have at least a minor problem with alcohol.
I would agree with that, yes.
Who do you live with?
I live with my parents.
They still think they're lucky?
I help them. I think that they do, yes, because I help them out.
So tell me what happened on the 22nd, Lucky.
Okay, in the afternoon, I was at my friend's restaurant, which is a couple doors down from theirs.
What were you doing there?
I was eating pizza. They have a pizza place. I've been going there for the past 25 years. And I decided to go next door, and I was advised to never ever go into that place because I would end up in trouble there, because there's always trouble over there. I went over there and ended up there a lot longer than I anticipated. I had way more drinks than I, wanted to have, but I was having a good time, so I kept on.
How were you having a good time?
Well, I was shooting pool, and I was talking to people, and I was buying several people drinks. Then, approximately 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night, I made the mistake.
What time did you arrive there?
Oh, maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had maybe 12 beers there or something like that. I was out of control, I admit that, but I didn't cause any problems. I wasn't obnoxious.
When you say you were out of control, Lucky,
drinking-wise.
tell me what you mean.
Drinking-wise, I overdid it drinking-wise, and I knew that I was drunk and I wasn't about to drive out of there to leave, I was going to call a taxi, and I went into the bathroom. That was the mistake I made because the bouncer was in there. No words were exchanged. I looked at him, and the next thing I know, I was out unconscious. And then I found myself in the parking lot, left for dead. When I came to, first thing I saw was him again.
Which one?
This guy here in the black shirt.
That would be Eric.
I asked him for help, realizing that my wallet was missing, and if I could go back in the bathroom to see if my wallet was in there. He said, "No, you're drunk. Get out of here." And then he said the police are coming too. So I said, well, okay, well, I would like to wait for the police and talk to them. The police came, and they just told me that I need to go home too. Call a taxi, do whatever, go home.
You have a police report?
Yes, I do. Yes,
I'd
ma'am.
like to see it. Go ahead.
I went over to my truck, my tailgate, and sat there. A couple women came over and were sitting next to me, assuring me everything's going to be okay. A couple minutes go by, and the police come back again, which I was not causing any more problems, that's for sure.
Well, somebody called them.
They were called again.
But they weren't called by you.
No, ma'am.
So they were called by somebody about your behavior.
But I wasn't doing anything.
That's not my question. I said they were called by somebody about your behavior.
They were called a second time.
Oh, okay. Well, this isn't the police report about their call. This is a police report that you made that said that somebody punched you in the mouth and took your property. There has to be a police report of when they responded to their calls. You did call the police, didn't you?
I called the first time.
Who called the second time?
One of the customers that was out in the parking lot.
You have a copy of that police report?
No, I do not.
Okay. So go ahead.
Okay, so then the police came for the second time, and they said, we're going to take you home. We're going to give you a taxi ride home. and they put me in handcuffs, which is very embarrassing to me to be put in handcuffs like I'm being arrested. At that point, I realized that I needed to go to the hospital. My face was puffing up, my back of my head, I was dizzy. So they said, would you like an ambulance? I said, yes, I would very much like an ambulance. I went to the hospital, they sewed my lip up, and then I walked back towards my vehicle, which is several miles away from there. And it was about 2:30 in the morning at that time. I realized that my truck was vandalized. My windshield was busted. My car was keyed around the sides of my car. My tailpipes were kicked down to the ground. And at that point, I realized that I better not say anything to them. And so there was a taxi out in the parking lot, and I was taken home. The very next morning, I went back there, and I talked to the owner, Patrick Sirely, and asked him if he would mind paying my hospital bill because I was beaten up in his establishment.
But you don't know who beat you up.
I'm not clear on that, but all I know is I saw him, and then I was out cold. And then I found myself in the parking lot coming to, and then I saw him again, at my feet, basically. Or I was at his feet.
So who's going to start?
I'll start.
Okay, take your hands out of your pockets and start.
When I got to work that night at 7, he came up to order another beer about a half hour into my shift, and I noticed that he was intoxicated, so I refused to serve him, and he went haywire and slammed his fist down on the bar.
Put your hand down, sir.
Called me a name that I don't think I can say. He started ripping up $100 bills in front of everyone from his wallet. Nobody laid a finger on him inside the bar. I didn't want to get into a physical altercation with him, so I waited till our doorman got on at 9. Finally, when he was put outside of the bar, he kept charging Eric, trying to bust his way back in. I went out to see what was going on. He threatened to get a gun from his truck and kill me and Eric and everybody else in the parking lot, began kicking his own truck, pounding his head into his own truck, and punching into his own truck and other people's cars in the parking lot. At one point, he knelt down in front of Eric, took off his shirt, and said, just kill me right now, just kill me right now. And that's what it seemed like it was going to get to a point where I needed to call the police because people were very angry that he was...
Is that when you called the police the first time?
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If you drank too much, it's your fault. Nobody got you down there with a funnel and filled your stomach full of beer. You managed to do that all by yourself.
And later today...
You think you have an obligation to support your daughter?
He never asked for support, or I would have given it to him.
Why does he have to ask?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lucky Feinstein says, during a night of drinking, he was assaulted by bar doorman Eric Galan. Eric and his co-worker Justin Murphy claim Lucky was out of control drunk.
Okay, Eric, you got on about 9 o'clock?
Yeah, about 9 o'clock, and it wasn't too long until Justin called me over. And I tell Lucky that he was done for the evening, he needed to go someplace else. He asked why. He said, I told him that, you were giving a problem to our bartender. Come back some other night, I'll buy you a beer, and, that'll be the end of it. He got upset and irate, said that he had a gun in his truck, and he was going to start shooting the place up. One of the customers that was sitting outside got upset by that. They started having a yelling match. I got involved. I separated the two. And he continued to threaten people that were around. He said, I was going to come back and get you, shoot you, shoot you. And that's when he tried to bully his way through me. And as soon as he touched me, I just put him to the ground and held him down.
When you say you put him to the ground, how did you put him to the ground, Eric?
Tripped his leg and put him on his back, one hand on his chest, one hand holding his arm. I said he needed to calm down. As soon as I let go of his arm, he swung on me. And I just knocked it out of the way and held him down again. And Justin was outside and said, do I need to call the cops? I said, yes, please call the police officers. I got off of Lucky, went inside to make sure the cops were coming. Came back outside after a minute or two, and Lucky was already laid up against the wall at the pizzeria. Now, I didn't talk to Lucky at all in the bathroom. I don't know where that came from. So after he was laid out, he woke up a couple minutes later, and he asked me who knocked him out. I had no idea who did it. And then he started accusing me that I stole his wallet.
Did you find his wallet in the pub? Did you find your wallet subsequently?
No, Your Honor, I didn't.
The police officers came. They spoke with him. They spoke with me. They said they needed to take another call, but he was going to leave the area. He was walking down the alley. As soon as the cops were out of sight, he came back and continued to talk to some other person who wasn't even there that night.
Where were you when you observed this?
Standing at the door.
You remember any of that, sir?
No, ma'am. I never left that parking lot. I was waiting for the police to come because I wanted to.
The police came already, sir. They came and they left.
Right, and then they came back a second time.
Right. My question is, why did they have to come back a second time? Why didn't you just leave?
Because I was very drunk. I wasn't about to go anywhere, and I was sitting on my tailgate wondering, what am I going to do now?
Listen to me very carefully, sir. When you're very drunk, it's very, very difficult for a court to make a judgment as to the veracity, the truthfulness of what you testify to, and to give any credence to what you testify to. You are asking me to believe you above two people who were working that evening, sober that evening, have a clear recollection, at least according to them, of what transpired that evening, as opposed to believing you who was so drunk they didn't know on which pole they were at.
Ma'am, I'm saying that they're lying about this whole thing, that he's saying that he didn't give me any more drinks after 7 o'clock at night. I was in there drinking heavily. I was having beer after beer, and they gave me way, way too many beers, in my opinion. I don't think that
How
that's
old are
right.
you?
I'm 41.
So is this what your complaint is, sir, that the bar overserved you?
Yes, ma'am, one thing. But I don't think that that should
Eric,
happen.
we started this case by my saying to you, do you have a drinking problem? And you said to me, I don't think so. Maybe a little. That's like being a little bit pregnant. You never have a little bit of a drinking problem, Lucky. Now, if you were 18 years old, I would say, I'm going to nail them, because a bar should know that a kid comes in and you don't serve a kid more alcohol than they can consume. When you're 41 years old, you're supposed to know how much alcohol you can consume and still have your wits about you. And according to you, you were warned, don't go in there. There's always trouble in that bar. But when you were at this place twice before, according to you, you had no trouble. So they clearly didn't have it in for you for any reason.
I believe that they do have it in for me.
Explain that to me.
Because mainly there's just Mexicans in there, and they always call me white boy.
Lucky. Did they call you white boy on the 15th of July?
No.
Did they call you white boy the month before that when you went in there?
No.
You didn't change composition from July 15th to July 22nd, did you? You were drunk. Stop blaming the rest of the world. You were drunk. Either you fell, you got beaten up, you don't know who did it, your car got trashed, you don't know who did that. You have to accept responsibility for your own behavior. If you drank too much, it's your fault. Nobody got you down there with a funnel and filled your stomach full of beer. Nobody. You managed to do that all by yourself. If you had gotten into your car and killed somebody on the way home, I would take every piece of property that this lady had.
Which someday will happen.
Just a second. I would take every piece of property that this lady had, because under those circumstances, both of you would be responsible. I'd take every bit of property you had, and I'd take every bit of property she had, because somebody who was innocent got killed. The only one that got hurt that night was you. And you caused that yourself. So deal with it. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
They're lying. No, I don't have a gun.
He threatened me. He pounded his fist on the bar.
No, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Started harassing the female customers.
I don't know if it was the bartender, but a lot of people, they beat me up.
Threatening people who were trying to help.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Suda, Frazier versus Heb. Step forward, please.
18-year-old student Nikki Frazier and guardian Sam Suter are suing Nikki's mother, Stacy Heb, for child support costs. Nikki says her mom won't turn over child support she receives from her father.
Mr. Suter, your complaint is that you and your family were nothing but kind to the defendant. She was having some difficulty, and she was unemployed several years ago. Her daughter and your daughter were friends since grade school, and you volunteered to give her a home.
Yes, ma'am.
When she was 16. How did you do in their home, the Suter home? Did you do okay?
Yes.
Did you graduate yet?
Oh, I graduate in a couple weeks.
What are you doing after graduation?
I want to go to college.
How did you do in high school?
I make good grades.
She's been AB honor roll all through high school.
Did you apply to college?
No, I did not.
Why not?
Because the application fees are like $50 for each application, and my mom told me she'd help me pay for them, but she never helped me pay for it.
So, Mr. Suter, this is your lawsuit. Ms. Fraser lived with you for 2 years, and you got no support for her from her mother. You did not even seek support.
No, ma'am.
But then you found out that Ms. Heb was getting support for Nikki from Nikki's father, and you feel as if that's unfair.
Somewhat, yes.
This is not rocket science, Ms. Heb. How long have you been divorced from Nikki's father?
Since she was about 6 or 7.
Do you have other children?
Yes, ma'am.
Are the other children also the product of this marriage?
No, ma'am.
And how much do you receive from Nikki's father for her support?
$50 a week.
What did you do with the money since 2003?
When she has called and said that she didn't have any food in the house and she needed me to take her to eat, I would feed her. If she's needed personal hygiene items, I've taken her. I've paid her cell phone bills. And yes, I did tell her that I would pay for her application fees. She never came to me and said, I've applied here and I need
I'm
the
not worried
money."
about college fees right now and application fees. How do you support yourself?
I'm a live-in nanny.
You think you have an obligation to support your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
So that the things you bought for her, the few toiletries you bought for her, or paying a cell phone bill, you did that for your daughter because you're her mother. That's what you do.
Yes, ma'am.
The $50 a week that you were getting from her father should have gone to the Suter family.
He never asked for support, or I would have given it to him.
Why does he have to ask? Did you ever say to him, Miss Hebb, Mr. Suter, I get money for Nikki's support from her father. It's not right that I keep it. I'm going to turn it over to you when I get it.
No, ma'am, I didn't. I instead, like I said, whenever she would call and said that she needed things, I would take care of her.
Well, that's what you did for her because you're her mother. She has two parents, a mother and a father. You're the mother. You work. If you have to take care of a few items, if you happen to take care of a few items for your daughter, that's very nice of you. The other $50 a week, if her father knew that she wasn't living in your home, did your father know you weren't living?
He just found out recently because I didn't have his number to get a hold of him.
If her father knew, I guarantee you, her father wouldn't have said, well, I'm going to send her money.
Her father has known. She's gone and seen him since she's lived with Mr. Suter.
I'm just curious. Not that I'm taking this for the truth of what you're going to tell me, but just my own curiosity. Did he ever say to you, if he knew that she wasn't living with you, I'd like to send the money to Mr. Suter?
No, ma'am.
Never did?
No, ma'am.
He must have had a lobotomy. Ms. Hebb, this is not a difficult case. It doesn't even test my academic prowess. The last 2 years, your daughter has been living with the Suter family, and you've collected $50 a week, roughly $2,500 a year. The Suters are suing you for $5,000 because that's approximately what you've collected over the time that your daughter has been living with the Suters from her father, and that money should have been turned over to the Suter family immediately. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $5,000. That's all. Make those college applications.
Parties are excused. You may stand on the calendar. Bear with me. In the matter of Greco-Reese versus Haspatka.
Who's Haspatka?
Me.
Good. Go.
Heinlein, Hamilton, and Archulewski. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
You see, when you're in charge, you could take certain license. So let me show you what I'm going to do. That's
Okay.
Mr. A, B, C, and D.
I wish I could have done that.
Where is your rental property?
I'm sorry, Omaha, Nebraska.
And you rent this house to college students.
Well, I just rent it. It just happens to be college students that always.
You've rented to college students
Well,
before,
yeah.
so you rent to college students.
Yeah.
You have any dislike for this property? You hate
Well,
this property?
This is the first time I've ever had any trouble.
Did you always rent to girls in the past?
No.
You rented to boys?
Mm-hmm.
Never had any trouble?
No.
Miraculous. How big is this house that you rented, Mr. A?
It's a split entry, 4-bedroom. I don't know the square footage.
And what was the rent on the house?
I believe it was $950, split 4 ways.
And when did you start your lease?
August 1st, 2003.
Name of the university you attended?
University of Nebraska at Omaha.
What year are you in?
4th year, senior.
Senior as well.
Senior. Senior.
Raise your hand if you're a good golfer.
Is that anybody in here?
No, just you. All right, Ms. Reese, this is the situation. According to your complaint, these 4 young slobs destroyed your house, and in addition to leaving the place a mess, they decided to play golf off the roof of your house at some point and cause substantial damage to your roof.
Yes, ma'am.
So you want them to pay for the repairs.
Yes.
The boys say they didn't have a chance to clean up because you changed the locks on the house, which must have been the month of July, right?
Correct.
End of July, yeah.
End of July.
End of mid-July, right?
Yeah.
Well, end of mid-July.
End to mid-July.
I don't remember the
sorry.
exact date. Sometime after the 20th of July.
So the end of July, she changed the locks.
Yes.
Why do you think she changed the locks, gentlemen?
I don't know. She claims that we abandoned the house, but we did not. We still had property in there.
Did you pay July's rent?
No.
Well, just a minute. Mr. D says yes. You say no. Mr. D, did you pay July's rent?
The security deposit, she took that as last month's rent, is what she told us. She said we didn't have to pay last month's rent, she would keep the security deposit.
Why would anybody in their right mind say that until they inspected the house?
Good question.
Who did she say that to?
On the phone. On July 19th, the day rent was due.
July 19th. Then what did you say?
She called me. I was in bed. She woke me up and she said she was talking about rent due today, and I said, yeah, I know. I'm going to bring it down later. And she said, but if you guys, don't pay it, I'll just keep the security deposit as last month's rent.
Is that what you told him?
No, ma'am. There was so much damage in the house that I could have used another 2 months' rent to fix what I fixed in that house.
Listen, Mr. A, maybe it's just that you were groggy.
No.
Because what you just told me was that you said to your landlord, I'm going to bring the rent down later on today, and she said, nah, forget it.
She didn't say, nah, forget it. But she left me with the understanding that
different.
If we did not pay last month's rent, I don't remember exact words, I'm sorry, this was a long time ago. I was under the understanding when I hung up the phone that if we decided that we didn't want to pay last month's rent, she would keep the security deposit.
Well, maybe you said to her, maybe, since you don't remember the exact words, and maybe the impression was left with you because you said to her, I'm not giving you the last month's rent, keep the security deposit. Because then, that was on the 19th, sir?
Yes.
When did she change the locks on the house?
Like I said, sometime after the 20th. It was
well,
that
would have been, listen to me,
okay.
Listen to me, that would have been the very next day. So that makes sense to me. What makes sense to me is she called you and said, where's the rent? And you said, you're not getting the rent. You keep the security deposit. And then she says, oh, yeah? I'm changing the locks on the house. That makes sense. Not, don't come down and pay me the rent. I'll keep the security deposit for the last month. And then she goes in and changes the locks. That doesn't make sense. Okay, now, what I would like to see from you is photographs of the house if you have it.
Yep, those here.
And after I look at the photographs of the house, I would like to hear from your witness, if any, I assume that this is your witness, who's going to tell me something about these golf balls being hit off the roof, which A, B, and C deny. And D. Forgot about you. Sorry. Well, something's going on up there. Do you have major hailstorms?
No.
Nebraska?
Not that year.
Yes,
Huh?
yes, we did.
Major hailstorms?
Not that time.
You gotta be kidding me.
It was probably the worst year for hail we've had in quite a while, actually.
Really? And you think that the hailstorms did this damage to the roof?
I don't know what the damage looks like, but
Well, I'm going to show it to you. You can bring this over and share it with A through D.
Pass them down, boys.
Your Honor.
I assume since you didn't see the damage and you don't know anything about the
I
damage.
do know one thing.
Yes.
I found out today that they had a fifth person living in my house because the man that came to help
Mr.
the last D,
Mr.
to
D.
help D
Perfect.
move out, was the one that told my new renters what they did, and they started at July 4th.
Just a second. You're the new renter?
That's correct.
Tell me your name.
Robert Schneider.
Mr. Schneider, when did you meet these gentlemen, if at all?
I believe it was either the 25th or shortly after the 25th of July.
And where did you meet them?
At the home.
What were they doing there?
They were removing their belongings.
Did you have a conversation with any of these gentlemen?
Yes, I had a conversation with a close friend of the defendants. He said to me...
Just a second. What was his name?
You know, I don't recall at this time. I'm kind of flustered with names. I don't recall names very well. I'm more of a face person.
I can't take your testimony. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
This is a court. Court, we take evidence, Miss Reese. If this young man had had a conversation with one of these defendants, then certainly he could have testified if any of them made an admission to him. But you want me to take his testimony about somebody whose name he doesn't know, who's not present today, and that's hearsay, okay, to support your case. So I can't do that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I've had 5 children who all went to college. and all at one time or another lived in rental property. And I remember I used to check to see if my inoculations were in order before I went to visit them.
And later today,
He had become more and more erratic as we had progressed in our relationship, and we'd been in counseling, and he had been on some drugs to help him deal with it.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Gail Greco-Rees says her former tenants, Joel Hospodka, Ronald Heinlein II, Adam Hamilton, and J.J. Archieweski for damage to a rental property. Gail says the house looked like it had never been cleaned.
Okay. Do you have any photographs of the interior of the house, Miss Rees?
Your Honor, I lost, well, I didn't lose them, my sister-in-law did, but I have the letter I sent them with all the things that were wrong with the house. It was the abandonment letter that my attorney told me to write to them.
Whose job was it to clean the bathroom?
Kind of a joint effort.
Well, nobody,
Four
I see
roommates.
nobody raised their hand.
It was.
Okay. Who cleaned the bathrooms?
Usually probably me.
That would be... Because it says here, the bathrooms, and in big letters it says, the bathrooms were disgusting. It appears as if it has never been cleaned. Well, based upon the lack of showing of hands, I would say that that's probably true. It's too late. Too late. Holes in the walls in the master bedroom, broken window, broken door frame. Who had the dog? Raise your hand.
We had-
Dog! Mr. D, Mr. A. What kind of dog did you have?
We had 3 chihuahuas.
Whose job was it to pick up the poop in the house from the dogs?
Whoever's dog it was.
Everybody pretty much.
And who did it?
We all did.
We all did.
Oh, there was some you missed.
Small dog.
Hmm? Small dog. It's disgusting. You know, but you know.
Your Honor, can I
I've had
say-
5 children who all went to college and who all, at one time or another, lived in rental property. And I remember I used to check to see if my inoculations were in order before I went to visit them. And if they would ever ask me, would you like to go visit my friend's house, I would say, no, thank you. They can join us for breakfast at McDonald's. Because I don't go to anybody else's mess. Bad enough I have to go and look at your mess.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that you've been very fortunate if you haven't had
Oh,
a
I have
mess.
been. This
like
is the
they
first
left
time
you
I've
with.
had it this
Now,
bad.
I'm not even addressing the golf balls over here because you don't have any proof of that. You don't have any confessions and you don't have any witnesses who saw them hitting golf balls off the roof. And I'm not going to get any admissions from these guys because nobody even wants to admit who did the bathroom. Aside from the roof, let me see estimates of the damage to the house.
I didn't have them because I just wrote everything down when I sent them in that abandonment letter.
Yeah, well, that's not
And
good
at
enough.
the time of the lease, when they signed the lease, they asked if they could have one dog.
I don't care whether they have one dog, they can have one dog, they have 20 dogs. They got to clean up the dog's poop and not leave it in the closet. Listen, they did not pay the last month's rent, and they were there after the 18th of July. Therefore, they owe you the entire month's rent. That's $950. And based upon what I see in your abandonment letter and what they concede about the condition of the house, that they had 2 dogs, I mean, that's not something that you guess at. You didn't guess that they had 2 dogs. You found remnants of the dogs there. I can guarantee you that it cost $900 to fix up the mess that you left in the house. So you owe her $950 for rent, and you owe her $950 for cleanup. Well, you've already paid her $950 because that is your security deposit.
Right.
So, gentlemen, you owe the plaintiff $950. Divvy it up. That's it. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
One of their friends told one of my new renters why the roof was damaged.
Everything on the roof is baloney, if you ask me. We never went on the roof. I don't know where she got that from.
I changed the locks and told them they had to call me when they were ready to get their stuff, that they were not going into the house.
There was stuff that we damaged. She didn't have a chance for us to fix it. I mean, she just changed the locks.
They're seniors in college. I hate to see what they did in high school.
We're 4 college guys. Obviously, there's going to be damages done to the house.
I feel sorry for the ladies at Miriam.
In my opinion, she's a pathological liar. Now I understand why she's single.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Gillitzer versus Morris. Step forward, please.
25-year-old administrative assistant Frank Gillitzer is suing his ex-fiancée, ballroom dance instructor Mally Morris, for the return of the engagement ring. Mally claims Frank told her she could keep it.
Mr. Gillitzer, how long were you and Miss Morris engaged?
Exactly 1 year to the date.
And when did you become engaged?
October 18th, 2002.
And when did the engagement terminate?
October 18th, 2003.
And you are seeking in this lawsuit the return of the engagement ring?
Correct.
When did you ask for the ring back?
I believe the correct date on that is the end of January. Once we terminated the relationship October 18th, and then at the end of January, that's when I asked for the ring back, because we started talking again and trying to reestablish the relationship at the end of November. And I moved back to Milwaukee on January 4th of 2004, and at the end of the month, I found out that it just is not going to work. At that point, I started asking for the ring back.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Frank Gillitzer says his ex-fiancée, Mally Morris, owes for the return of the engagement ring.
Okay. What did Miss Morris say to you the first time you asked for the ring back?
The first time, she said no, she's not giving it back. And
Did she give you a reason?
Honestly, at that time, no. I have emails stating that she's just not returning anything of the ring or...
Well, let me see if you have an email with regard to the ring.
Here are 3 emails stating that she's not giving the ring back.
Why wouldn't you want to give him the ring back?
Well, Your Honor, I had already returned the ring, and then...
When did you return the ring?
I returned the ring on the day, October 18th, that I removed my items from his home. Following that, we did start talking again. We became friendly. He asked me to please keep the ring. He didn't want the ring. He didn't want the emotional attachment. I said, all right.
So what you're telling me is he told you to keep the ring?
Yes. And I have a statement from him to that effect.
I only have one email on January 31st where you say I'm not sending it back.
Correct. I didn't have the ring. At the time that he emailed me, he had become more and more erratic as we had progressed in our relationship, and we'd been in counseling, and he had been on some drugs to help him deal with it. When I received his first email, I didn't know what to think of it, because I thought that he was in possession of the ring at the time.
When was that?
I think he came into the possession of the ring in December. We went to a meeting together at KU. In the car, I had the ring, and I also had a dance videotape.
Where was the ring?
It was in the cup holder of my car.
Why?
I had just taken it off. I have kids, and I take it on and off, and I had left it in the car. But after that night, I could not find either the video or the ring. And
you had gone together to the meeting?
Yes, we had gone together.
In the same car?
Yes.
You remember going to that meeting?
I remember going to the meeting, and I remember the tape. I purchased that tape because we were both dance instructors at the time, and to use it for choreography, I told her that I purchased the tape, I would like to take it and make a copy of it, and I'll give you the copy of the tape.
So you took the tape?
Correct.
With her permission?
Yes.
Is that right?
No, ma'am. He told me that at a later date. When I found that he had the tape, he said, don't worry, I'll give you a copy of it.
Is that the way it came about?
No, it's not. We discussed it earlier, prior to that, back at the end of November.
Well, from November to the time you took the tape in December, did you discuss it with her?
Yes, we have.
That night, did you discuss it with her?
No. Honestly, it was on the dashboard of the car, and since we already talked about it, I figured I'll just take it.
Okay, and you drove there together?
Correct.
And you drove home together?
Correct.
Did you make plans to see each other after that night in December?
Yes.
When?
The next day, I assume.
Did you see each other the next day?
I do not believe that we made plans to see each other. I don't think that I saw him after that event, before he left for Wisconsin. I did speak with him on the phone.
Do you remember when?
I don't. We spoke off and on throughout December and January.
Do you remember when the first time that you raised the issue of the tape?
It was early in January. KU has a activities fair.
Okay, so that was in early January. You asked him about the tape?
Yes.
And what did he say?
He said, well, yes, I have the tape, but don't worry, I'll get you a copy.
Fine. When did you ask him about the ring?
I'd never asked him about the ring.
Well, it would seem to me that you'd want to know whether or not the ring that you left in the cup holder was also taken at the same time as the tape, since you were talking in January.
Well, Mr. Gillitzer was very confrontational throughout our relationship, and we had a really hard time at the end.
But you were still talking to each other, according to you.
I was trying to remain friendly.
All right. All right, let me see the bill for the engagement ring, please. Okay. Not a very difficult case. Miss Morris, it's been my experience that if something doesn't make sense, it's usually not true. I'm a tad older than you are. I have never taken off one of my rings and left it in the cup holder in a car. Never. That doesn't mean that it's impossible that you took off the ring and left it in the cup holder of a car. That just means it's not within my realm of experience, and I'm a pretty normal gal. It also doesn't make sense that you would ask him within days about the tape, but not ask him whether or not, in addition to taking the tape, he happened to take the engagement ring that was in the cup holder of the car. That doesn't make sense to me. And you have an obligation once the engagement is over to return the ring to him. You don't have to return to him judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,853. That's all.
Parties are excused. 3:38 on the calendar in the matter of Calderon versus Calderon.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Mr. Calderon, this is your former wife, according to your complaint. Subsequent to your divorce, when all matters of finances had been resolved, your wife used a credit card that was in your name without your authorization, and it was a gas credit card, and according to you, in a very short period of time, a few days, she ran up a bill of well over $500. You want to be compensated for that. Ms. Calderon states in her answer that she believed that you left this card open for her because you were being a nice guy and you knew that she was struggling financially. Of course, you say that when you confronted her with it, her reaction was somewhat different. Can I see a copy of your judgment of divorce, please?
Yes.
You were married for 25 years?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Is that right? And you have kids?
Yes.
How many children?
2.
Grown?
Yes.
It is clear from the judgment of divorce that any and all liabilities incurred after December 14th of 2004 belong to each of you separately. Now, when were these credit card bills made?
October 13th through the 19th.
Of 2005?
Of 2005. I have a
Can I see them, please? How did you become aware of them, sir?
I have received a letter of address change, and I knew that I had not changed my address. I didn't even know the credit card existed. And when I called them, they told me that I had requested to change my address, and I thought that there was something wrong with that and asked if there was any charges on the account.
Okay, Ms. Calderon, the ball is in your court. Explain it to me, please.
Basically, the reason that I was in the situation I was in is because I was so heavily in debt and destroyed from what he had done to me from this divorce, because he knew that last year when my daughter graduated high school, my oldest daughter graduated college, and my oldest daughter got married, that I had put a lot of money into that. And
this has nothing to do with that.
Well, but this is why I was.
Calderon,
this is why.
This has nothing to do with that. This is not.
I would have never used it though.
This is not even a large amount of money. We're talking about a gas credit card where it's clear you allowed someone else to use this gas credit card.
I got gas for my kids. We were all struggling. He destroyed us all.
Just a second. In 4 days, you got gas for your children. You have 2 children and yourself.
Right.
You filled up the cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know what's $98.20. That's not a car fill up. Or $83.
Or a case of oil.
A case of oil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 times. Let us assume 3 people's cars. 13 times in a 4-day period. So, Ms. Calderon, don't play with me. This is not because you needed money.
Yes, it was.
When you enter into an agreement, and I assume that this was your agreement, it looks as if it was boilerplate clauses, you agreed that after December of 2004, you would not make any debts for the other party. You chose not to do that.
His friend told my daughter that he left the card open for me to use because he felt sorry for me because he knew how hard of a time I was having.
Oh, okay, well, that's a different story. Is that person here today?
Yes.
Step up, sir. Tell me your name.
David Dover.
Mr. Dover, did you ever tell Mr. Calderon's daughter that this credit card was left open?
No, ma'am. I never knew the card existed. I never knew anything about it.
Step up. You're the daughter?
Yes.
Your name?
Angela Schubert.
Angela, tell me about this alleged conversation.
We were going to dinner for my birthday, and I was sitting in front, and we had just found out I was pregnant that day. It was August 18th. We picked up my dad from work, and we work at, well, it was before we picked him up for work. And we were just talking about the divorce. You know, I was trying to get to know him since, you know, he lives with my dad now. And he just happened to say, well, your dad did leave a gas card open for your mom. Because we didn't know, because all the gas cards were closed.
Let me ask you this question. Somebody must have been complaining about money.
No.
So, because the statement that you ascribed to this gentleman, well, this is what you said, well, your dad did leave a gas card open for your mom.
We were talking
is
about,
always a response to something said to him.
We were talking about how hard it was for everyone in the divorce, and how it happened. We were talking about how hard it was. And he said, well, you know, your dad left a gas card open for your mom, and, you know, to help her out a little bit.
And you went back and told her,
shh. I didn't tell her right away.
You didn't tell her right away. When did you tell her?
Maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks tops.
Okay, so a week and a half, 2 weeks tops, you tell your mother. And your mother didn't have this credit card.
Yes, I do.
Just a second. You didn't have it. According to you, you found it. Listen to me. You found it. When did you find it?
I wasn't trying to use any of the credit cards.
When did you find it?
When she told me he left it open for me and we were having such a hard time.
Well, did you call him and say...
I can't. We don't communicate.
What do you mean? You don't have a telephone?
He communicates through the kids.
Before I would extend his credit based upon hearsay, I would have picked up a telephone or sent him a note. Is it true that I can use this credit card? I certainly would have at least, if I believed that it was true that he held open this credit card, Miss Calderon, I would have tried it for 1 month. He would have gotten the bill and he would have said, well, I have a $40 bill for gas. I wonder what this is from. But you didn't do that. You charged $500 worth of gas in 4 days. And then, according to your former husband, when he confronted you, because you did call her.
I actually contacted her via email. I don't call her. I had to change my number so many times.
Fine. So you didn't?
But I did contact her.
And what was her response?
She said that go ahead and prosecute her. It would be well worth it for the look on my face.
Can I see it, please?
I was shocked that he wanted to prosecute me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I still am in shock that he's done what he's done to us. And
You're shocked.
I never thought he was that cold-blooded, and I still can't believe it.
And later today,
I said, I'm calling the police. And she said she took them and she pawned them and she thought she could get them back in my jewelry box before I noticed.
That's what drug addicts do, not casual marijuana smokers.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Alan Calderon says ex-wife Linda Calderon made unauthorized charges on his credit card.
Well, this email acknowledges, Miss Calderon, that you used this card, but you said, I figured I'd be able to make payments just like you would.
If he had a problem with what I got. But I got things to help us because I knew how he always tries to make himself appear to be generous, but his MO is not generosity. And
Listen to me, he doesn't have to be generous with you anymore.
He has never been generous with
Miss
me.
Calderon, then you stayed with somebody for 25 years who wasn't generous. You're divorced now. And what you have to do is you have to put a period and move forward. The economics of divorce is never easy. When you try to run two households on the same salaries that you were using to support one household, that's never easy for anybody. But what you cannot do is, you cannot say, I have a contract, and I'm not satisfied with the terms of the contract, so I can, because of necessity, because I was married to him for 25 years, because we have children together, they have needs, whatever, I'm going to extend his credit. You can't do that.
I still am in shock that he's done what he's done to us.
Listen to me.
And
You're shocked.
I never thought he was that cold-blooded, and I still can't believe it.
The retaliation was not to use a credit card.
I didn't do it in retaliation.
Well, then you got to pay it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $507. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was married to a snake, and I had no idea I was.
My ex-wife has been harassing me, and this is just another form of harassment.
It's all because of self-indulgence and selfishness that someone would do this to their family in the first place.
She actually moved out on me, but if you hear her talk, she'd think that, you know, I left her.
I don't know who he is, and I thought that, you know, he really was trying to be generous and help us.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter, Schoonmaker versus Huddleston. Step forward.
Susan Jane Schoonmaker is suing her daughter, 20-year-old Heather Huddleston, for stealing and pawning her wedding rings. Heather claims she had her mother's permission.
The Schoonmaker, this young lady is your daughter, and according to your complaint, she owes you some money. She owes you some money because, as a result, according to you, of her drug abuse, she fell behind in her rent. She and her boyfriend, and she came to you for money, and you gave her jewelry to pawn. She pawned the jewelry. She was supposed to get it out. She didn't. You lost the jewelry. You want the money. Is that right?
Well, she also stole my wedding rings out of my jewelry box and pawned them without my knowledge.
For how long has your daughter had a drug problem?
I didn't know that she had one. She told me it was her boyfriend.
When she came to you and asked for money, she told you that the boyfriend had a drug problem?
She said that he was spending money on things he shouldn't be. He was doing drugs and stuff like that.
So then why in the world would you give her jewelry to pawn?
I gave it to her so she would have a place to live. I didn't want her.
Why couldn't she come home?
I have other children that I don't want exposed to the lifestyle that she was doing.
Well, just a second. I thought you said there was nothing wrong with her lifestyle. It was the boyfriend.
And I don't know what her lifestyle was. I know that she was spending money and doing things that she should not be doing.
Then you
That's the reason that
you
she
shouldn't
left.
have given her your jewelry.
You're right.
So then what are you doing in court?
I'm doing it in court because she stole rings from my jewelry box that I had no knowledge of.
I want you to forget about the pawn jewelry.
Right.
And I think that you knew what her lifestyle was, and that if you gave her jewelry to pawn, there was no legitimate expectation of you getting this money back, because drug abusers don't return money. Drug abusers put money in their arms or up their noses. Right, Miss Huddleston?
Yes, ma'am.
Your mother says that after she gave you this jewelry to pawn, which you did, you stole some property from her. Did you?
That's not true.
Well, tell me about these wedding rings that she said that you took.
The wedding rings she never wore, and I came upon a time when I needed money for rent, and she told me to go ahead and take the jewelry out of her jewelry box, the wedding rings, to pawn them so I could pay rent, because she never wore them. She hasn't worn them in 5 years.
That's not true.
What other jewelry did she give you?
Previously, she had given me a bag of gold necklaces and a ring that my grandmother had given her. She offered it. I never asked her for money. I told her that I was having problems, and she offered it to me.
That's not true.
What kind of drugs were you or are you involved with?
I was smoking marijuana, and she knew.
And the boyfriend?
Anything and everything.
But not you?
The only thing I ever did was marijuana.
Susan Jane Schoonmaker says her daughter, Heather Huddleston, stole her wedding rings and pawned them.
Still with the boyfriend?
Nope.
Who do you live with now?
I live with friends in Arizona.
Do you work?
Not yet. I'm a student.
You're a student where?
At massage therapy school.
Who pays for it?
I got a grant.
Who pays for your living expenses?
I do.
From what?
I have money.
From what?
Doing various jobs. I clean houses and babysit.
Oh, what a bunch of baloney. What a bunch of baloney.
It's true.
My dear Miss Huddleston, you wouldn't know the truth if it came up and cracked you in the face. The wedding rings, when did you find out that they were missing?
When I always go into my jewelry box because I keep my earrings and everything in there. I wasn't wearing the rings because one of the diamonds was loose.
Don't tell me what you weren't wearing them. You weren't wearing them.
I wasn't wearing them, and they were gone. I called her at school. She was going to massage therapy school at the time when this happened, and I said, my wedding rings are gone. Do you know where they are? Have you done? She goes, no, I don't know, but when I come home, I will help you find them. And she came home, and I sat her down, and I said, I'm calling the police. And once the police are involved, if you're involved, you're going to jail because I can't stop it. And she said she took them, and she pawned them, and she thought she could get them back in my jewelry box before I noticed.
That's what drug addicts do.
I know.
Not casual marijuana smokers. How much were the wedding rings pawned for?
$150.
Did you go to the pawn shop to try to get them back?
I didn't know what pawn shop it was, and her boyfriend called me and told me after she left him, for no reason, he didn't even know that she had left him, that he went down to the pawn shop because that's where he gave her the money to go down and pick them up and bring them to me. She told me she was on her way to my house to do laundry and bring me my rings and never showed up. And this is the first time I've seen her since then. The pawn shop had sold all the rings a while ago.
You know who she's living with now?
A guy that she met on the internet.
One guy? Or
One
friend?
guy with his old girlfriend and his baby.
How old is she?
She'll be 21 in December. I've tried to help her. I don't know how else to help her. And I feel like she needs to start paying for the things that she's doing. And I just thought here at least she would start seeing what her actions are going to start becoming. They're going to get worse. I don't want to have to pick her up in jail. And I won't.
Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom before you're ready to turn your life around.
That's what I'm hoping.
When did she leave home?
She left home when she was 19.
You go to live with this boyfriend?
She knew him a week and left.
Who else lives at home with you?
My 17-year-old daughter, my 12-year-old daughter, and my 10-year-old son.
You know what these rings were appraised for that you took?
I went in and I got an estimate on what it would cost to replace all of the rings.
Not all the rings.
No, I know, but it has just them separated. My wedding ring and my engagement ring set is on here. $28.99 for the engagement ring and $880 for the wedding ring.
Are you still married to the man who gave you the rings?
Yes, I am. We've lived together for 16 years.
He's not her father?
He's not her father. But you'd never know the difference.
Anything you want to say?
She told me that those rings were remnants of an unhappy marriage and that she was happy to get rid of them. And that's why she let me pawn them. And
I never said that.
I just think it's really funny, you know, she was helping me out, and now because she's getting in trouble from my stepdad and my grandma, she's got to turn around and blame it on me, and I just don't think that's fair.
What do you think is fair?
I didn't do anything wrong. She gave it to me.
You did do something wrong. You came to your mother and you said, I got a drug addict boyfriend, I'm behind in the rent, you were living a lifestyle that was inappropriate, and you came to your mother, who clearly is not a rich lady, because if she was a rich lady, she would have had the money to give you for the rent. She didn't, so all she had was this bag of jewelry, and you're a big girl. You chose to be a big girl. You chose to move out of your house and live on your own.
I never asked her to help me. She offered to help.
How would she know that you needed anything unless you came to her and said, I don't have rent? Listen to me. How would she know that you needed money unless you came to her and told her that you didn't have rent money?
Because I came over one day and I was upset. And like any caring mother would, she asked what was wrong. At least I thought she was caring. Sorry.
You got to do the right thing. You still have time. If you continue to make bad choices in your life, you know what's going to happen. You're going to end up being, instead of a 20-year-old bum, a 40-year-old bum. If you lie down with dirt, you get dirty. Did you ever hear that expression? Did everybody say anything like that to you? If you lie down in dirt, you're going to get dirty. And it sounds to me like you went from the frying pan into the fire. It's not too late. You're still a young girl. But you better start making right choices. Because if you don't make right choices, you're going to end up a 40-year-old dirty girl instead of a 20-year-old dirty girl. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. 64 on the calendar in the matter of Overturf Crawford versus Cooper. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
What's your name, sir?
Jerry Overturf.
Is this your girlfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
She can sit down. Mr. Overturf, this is your former wife.
Yes.
You have 2 children.
That's correct.
Together. You have custody of the 2 children, pursuant to the judgment of divorce.
Yes.
How old are your children?
My son is 14 and my daughter is 16.
And how long have you been divorced?
A couple years.
How long have you and your former wife been separated?
3 years.
During that 3-year period, did your son and your daughter always reside with you?
My son has always resided with me. She took my daughter with her.
When did your daughter come to live with you?
Just about 2 years this month.
So far, is that all correct?
Samantha hasn't always resided with us. She came to us when she was 2 months old. She's an adopted daughter.
She's your daughter. Okay. Now, you have primary physical custody of the children, and your daughter was visiting with her mother. When did this visit begin?
The first part of June of this year.
Was she supposed to spend the summer?
She was going to go down there and be with her until about the 6th of July.
And your arrangement was that Mrs. Cooper, is this your husband?
Yes, ma'am.
That Mrs. Cooper would pay for her transportation back and forth for the visit.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Correct. That was your arrangement. But something happened during the course of that visit, and Mrs. Cooper had your daughter, whose name is
Samantha,
arrested and taken into custody for theft.
Correct.
And you had to go to where she was to have her released to your custody. You want your former wife to pay your expenses in going down to pick up your daughter. And you also have some nonsense claim involving your girlfriend because your girlfriend was so upset about the whole situation, it exacerbated a medical condition that she has.
That's incorrect. She already had this condition, and we'd been in to see the doctor. The doctor had said that she was having a major anxiety attack and had put her on some medication. And said
This is your girlfriend?
It's my girlfriend, yes.
Well, what I said pretty much, Mr. Overture, was that you believe that this whole situation with your daughter exacerbated your girlfriend's medical condition. Isn't that what you're claiming?
Well,
anxiety, stress, whatever it was, and you believe that your former wife should be responsible for that.
it added to it because we were asked to stay.
Tell your girlfriend to get over it. But that's not what courts are about. You have a difficult family situation. You have 2 teenage children. And if she can't deal with it, she shouldn't be involved with you. But you don't come into court and sue for that kind of nonsense. That's why I told her to sit down. She has no lawsuit, so she's out of the picture. Now, let's deal with the fact that you had to go to get your daughter out of jail. You want to tell me when and why you had your daughter incarcerated?
Yes, ma'am. She seems to be developing some bad habits, you might say. Her sophomore year, which was last school year, she was truant November to December, and the only reason I found that out was because I check online for her attendance. So she ended up with 0 credits for her sophomore year. So
let's get to June and July, please, why you had her incarcerated.
So she come down with me, and
where do you live?
Flagstaff, Arizona.
And where do you live?
Meridian, Idaho.
And she was with me. She didn't want to do anything except lay on the couch and talk to her friends on the phone. She used up 340 minutes worth of phone time the first 2 days she was there, so I refused to buy her any more phone time. And towards the end of her visit, she got in my purse and got my ATM card out and started charging phone calls to her friends on my card. And around the 1st of July, I checked my account, and there's all these charges. I'm like, what's going on here? So I confronted her about it, and she smugly says, yeah. I was like, okay. So I called the Flagstaff Police Department and had an officer come out and told him what was going on. And he goes, do you want to arrest her or don't you? And I said, I don't think I have any other choice as a responsible parent. And so I had her arrested for misuse of a credit card.
How old was your daughter? Your daughter's 16?
16.
16. You thought you had no other choice but to have your 16-year-old daughter, who is not in your custody, arrested for using the telephone? I'm not mitigating what she did by going to your, if she in fact did it, and I believe she did it, right?
Yes.
And she went to your pocketbook, she took your credit card, she used the phone for hours and hours and hours, ran up a phone bill, didn't have your permission to do that, right?
Correct.
I still don't understand why you had her arrested.
Because it's against the law, ma'am. Tough love.
Well, Miss Cooper, sometimes tough love is appropriate when you are a consistent, constant parent, and sometimes, you know, despite your best efforts as being a hands-on, I'm there every minute of the day parent, your child strays. But if your daughter was visiting you for a month, it would seem to me that you were not terribly prudent by calling the police and responding to her use of the phone in that way. She did what teenagers do. Are these your only 2 children?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Bird has children, teenagers, right, Bird?
Yep.
And I've had a whole bunch of teenage children. And I'm going to tell you that they can use that phone and they can think of more schemes and scams not to get caught. I had one that used to change phone plans, you know? And she figured by the time all this works out, right, I'm going to be away in college. And she was right. I didn't call the police and have her arrested. When she's 16, does she go to an adult prison or does she go to a juvenile facility?
A juvenile facility, ma'am.
And how old are the kids who were in the juvenile facility? Up to what age?
When they turn 18, they go to the adult facility.
So, women up to the age of 18.
Yes, ma'am.
And they've committed what kind of crimes?
Any kind of crime.
Any kind of crime. Robbery, drugs. Had your daughter ever been arrested before?
No, ma'am. She's lucked out on that. She's driven without driver's license, she's smoked pot, she's done all sorts of things, and she's lucked out.
Driven without a driver's license? Smoke pot? Did you ever have any of your kids arrested?
No.
Me neither. You talk to them, you're aggravated, you don't sleep at night, you stay up when they're out. There are a lot of things that you do. You either lose weight, or you gain weight, or you start smoking, or you start drinking, or whatever it is during those teenage years. But I never would have a child arrested for what really amounts to the overuse of a telephone.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How many days did you spend in jail, Samantha?
I actually spent about 6 hours, and then I was released to an alternative home.
Have you spoken to your mother since July?
No.
She has some thinking to do.
And later today,
You did not say it was a gift.
No, I did
Right.
tell him that it was a
Right.
gift.
Absolutely right. Your conduct is outrageous. And standing there and lying is even more outrageous.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jerry Overturf says his ex-wife, Mary Jo Cooper, had their 16-year-old daughter thrown in jail for stealing. Mary Jo says she was practicing a little tough love.
Now, what do you want to say?
Well, Your Honor, I wanted to say that maybe my wife has forgotten a few things that her daughter's done, or maybe she doesn't want to mention it, such as stealing from her other family and friends. She is on a path that is not in her best interest.
And you
my wife
you think that a period of incarceration in a juvenile facility was going to mend her ways, sir?
I certainly do.
Now you may be seated, Mr. Cooper. Now, did you have to bail your daughter out?
No, ma'am, I did not.
You just had to sign her out.
That's correct.
If you hadn't gone to Arizona, how long would she have stayed in jail? Do you know?
No, I do not.
Okay. Samantha, your turn, right up here. Now, why'd you take your mother's card?
I had, like she said, used a lot of minutes the first 2 days I was there.
Why?
Homesick, wanted to talk to my friends, don't know anybody.
Okay.
I had money my dad sent down with me. I offered to buy a card if she would just take me to the store. And I know it wasn't right what I did, even though I didn't have the card. I wanted her to take me to the store, that's all. And I would pay for the minutes on the card.
Okay. Did you play hooky from school most of last year?
I did.
Why?
I had some troubles with school last year.
What kind of troubles?
I didn't like the school. It was a change. I went from a small high school to over 1,000 kids in one school. It was a big change.
What did you do when you stayed home?
Slept, just lazy.
And what about your father? Did he try to convince
Yeah.
you to get to school?
Yeah, so it was my fault. It wasn't my dad's.
What about this year?
I'm going full-time. I love my new school. I go to an alternative school. I have A's and B's.
Have you spoken to your mother since July?
No.
She has some thinking to do. I hope she has some thinking to do. Now, the day that you got there, were you able to have her released to your custody?
They were very good about it. When we got in, it was late in the evening, and they did something that they said that they normally don't do. They went ahead and woke her up. I got in at 1 o'clock in the morning. We signed an agreement, and I left my phone number, and they've been checking in on us to see how she's doing and making sure there's no problems whatsoever.
How many days did you spend in jail, Samantha?
I didn't spend any days. I actually spent only about 6 hours, and then I was released to an alternative, like, home thing.
Did you like the 6 hours in jail?
No.
Okay. Miss Cooper, you had an obligation to ensure that your daughter would be safely returned on time to his home. You chose not to do that. I think that you made the wrong judgment. I think that you didn't handle this in a way that was in your child's best interest. That's my judgment. And I come from a position of law enforcement. I think that there are certain times when you have to resort to tough love for a child when their life is at risk. But in this situation, you were angry because your daughter seemed to be embarking on a path that you thought was going to lead her to no good. That usually requires you saying to a child, listen, I want to go into some counseling with you. I've made an appointment with a therapist. I want to sit down. I want to find out what's bothering you. That should not trigger you calling the police and saying my daughter stole money from my wallet. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
it was a vindictive move is what she was trying to do.
I know that it was wrong that I took her credit card.
I think Samantha is basically a real good person, has a lot of potential.
She's a beautiful person. She can do it if she wants to.
Pushed her away, pushed the whole family away is what she's done.
I don't talk to her.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Graham versus Goings. Step forward, please.
Housekeeper Dorothy Graham is suing her daughter, 24-year-old homemaker Tina Goins, for the unpaid balance on a computer. Tina claims the computer was a Christmas gift.
Miss Graham, this young lady is your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that you made a loan to your daughter to enable her to buy a computer.
Yes, ma'am.
The agreement was that she would pay off the computer. It is your claim that she made some payments on the computer and then stopped, and you want her to pay the balance.
Yes, ma'am.
Your daughter says that the computer was a gift, that she did make some payments on the computer, but that was really done just to help you out when you were having some financial difficulty.
No, ma'am, that's not true.
How old are you?
24.
Are you divorced?
No, I'm not married.
You have children?
I have 2.
How old are they?
7 and 2.
Who do you live with?
My boyfriend.
Is he the father of any of these children?
He's the father of my 2-year-old.
Does he work?
Yes, he does.
What kind of work does he do?
He does construction.
Does he work all the time?
Every day.
Does he have children?
Just
other
the
than
one we have
2-year-old?
together.
That's the only child he has?
Yes.
How long have you been living on your own?
Since I was 15.
How come?
Because I moved out with my first son's father.
And you moved again?
Yes.
With your present boyfriend?
No, on my own. Me and just my son.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dorothy Graham says her daughter, Tina Goins, owes for a computer. Dorothy claims Tina started paying for it and then stopped.
Tell me about this computer.
Well, it was Christmas of 2000, and before Christmas, I had asked my mom if she would co-sign for me a computer because I was pregnant and I wanted to stay at home and do medical billing from home. Well, she said, no, I'm not going to co-sign for you. I'll buy you one for Christmas. It'll be a gift from me to you for Christmas. And I said, okay. And she didn't get the computer at Christmas because I lived in a small duplex and I was fixing to move and I didn't have room for it. So we waited until like February of March of 2003 and then we ordered the computer through Dell and she paid for it.
There came a time when you made some payments. When was the first payment that you made?
The first payment that I made was in October of 2003.
October, why did you make that?
Because
she
payment? Was hurt on the job and she was off of work and she didn't have the money to pay for it at that time.
Did she call you and ask you to do it?
Yes, she did.
And how much was that payment in October?
$44 a month.
How many payments of $44 did you make?
Probably about 7.
When did you stop making the payments?
In August.
Why?
Because our car broke down the day the computer payment was due, and that's all the money that I had in the bank, and we had to get our other car fixed because my boyfriend needed a way back and forth to work, and I have kids I have to take to school every day.
Okay, now let me hear you.
Well, she approached me to buy her a computer because her credit was bad, and she said if I would get it on my credit, then she would pay it off in March when she got her taxes, and she hasn't done that.
Did you have a discussion with her at that time?
Yes, I did, and at that time, she had just had my grandson, and she told me she was going to pay for it, and then she bought a new car instead when she got the money.
When did you start to make payments on the computer?
The first payment I made was in March.
And how come you made the first payment?
Because she didn't have the money to pay it.
Did you have a discussion with her about it?
I believe she gave me the money back in March, and the last 3 payments I've made, well, the last 4.
When did you ultimately confront your daughter about not making the payments on the computer?
When I was sent a done saying it hadn't been paid. Sure. This should be it. I believe that's it.
Well, this indicates in August that $128 was due, so that they were substantially behind. Did you know that they were substantially behind?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I assume that you had a discussion with your daughter when you received this.
Yes.
When was that?
That was the next day after I paid it.
And what did you tell her?
I told her if I was going to make the payments on it, then I want the computer. And I took a police officer out there and tried to get it, and she refused to give it to me.
Why did you take a police officer out to your daughter's house?
Because I know how she is. She would have fought with me. She'd have called the police on me, and I didn't want that.
So what happened when you got out there with the police?
He went up to the door and talked to her, and she refused to give it to me. Told him that they were having hard times and she planned on catching up the payments. And he told me I couldn't do anything about it unless I filed.
Ms. Goins, did you tell the police officer that you were having hard financial times?
I told him that...
Just answer my question. Did you tell the police officer that you were having hard financial times?
No, ma'am, I did not.
What did you tell the police officer?
I told him that our car had broke down and that's all the money that I had was enough to get our car fixed.
That's pretty much saying that you had some financial difficulty, right? What? So, you didn't say to the police officer, it's my computer, my mother gave it to me as a gift. What you said to the police officer was, I couldn't make the payments on it because my car broke down. The only money that I had was this $44 to have my car fixed. And therefore, I had to choose between having a car or making a payment on the computer. You did not say it was a gift.
No, I did tell him that it was a gift.
Absolutely right. That you're telling me now. You owe your mother the money for this computer. Your conduct is outrageous. And standing there and lying is even more outrageous. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,499. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.